And I want you to understand that. And I want to let that Lawyers in the Karen Reed case battling over the ground rules for her second trial. And that includes what jurors hear about State Trooper Michael Proctor. I'm Courtney Cole.
And I'm David Wade. Proctor, of course, led the investigation into John O'Keefe's murder, but is now suspended and fighting for his job. So tomorrow he will appear before a disciplinary board for the third day of a hearing that will determine his future. Proctor was suspended last summer in part for his disparaging texts that he sent about Karen Reed. So the judge will need to decide now how Proctor will fit into Reed's trial in the next few weeks.
WBZ's Christina Rex, she has covered the first trial from start to finish, and tonight she shows us some of the big questions which still need to be answered before jury selection begins.
More than a dozen requests from attorneys on all sides could lay the ground rules for Karen Reed's second trial.
A lot of them.
Lots of motions in limine.
Let's start with motions in limine, a very legal term. What is it?
It kind of clears up the issues of confusion before we go to trial.
We took the time to go through them all and show you some highlights. First, defense attorneys want to be able to tell jurors about the now closed federal investigation into this case, specifically when calling these crash reconstruction experts to the stand.
We want to not only say that there was a third party who hired them, but specifically the U.S. Attorney's Office. And they say they want to do that because leaving out who hired these experts initially is going to confuse the jury.
Next, prosecutors don't want the defense attorneys to be able to disparage any witnesses, writing that defense has repeatedly declared virtually every civilian witness, police officer, and first responder was complicit in a cover-up of evidence, and implying that nearly every witness is a liar.
Really what prior bad acts do is they put a bad taste in the jury's mouth of a particular person.
And finally, the Commonwealth wants to prohibit any testimony about open disciplinary investigations into police on this case. Remember, Trooper Michael Proctor's disciplinary hearing is about to enter its third round this week.
Is there any chance that Proctor's disciplinary hearings are going on so long for a reason?
If we're being cynical, yes. If he were to be found responsible prior to the hearing, then he could likely be questioned on that. So I'm not surprised that the decision on his disciplinary proceedings will likely come after the trial is over and after he's off the stand.
Christina Rex, WBZ News.
Woo! Good evening, my friends. Listen, I get it. I get it. No Nan intro this time. I'm just trying to save some time here because we got a lot to go over. And I don't even know how we're going to do it yet. So someone was so nice. I'm just not going to mention them because I don't know if they want me to mention them, but someone was so nice as to send me all of the, they texted me and they were like, hey, do you have all of the motions that were filed today? And I was like, no, but I'm not going over them today because Clever was laying on top of me and it was just wonderful. And I was like, I'm not doing shit right now. So this person was like, so yeah, I'll go ahead and send them to you. And they were like, but plug in your phone because it's a lot. And I went, ha ha ha. And then they were like, no, seriously, plug in your phone. And my phone just whoop, 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 whoop. It was insane. So yeah, there's a lot of motions that were filed yesterday. And I don't even know, maybe I have to at least they're numbered. But before we go any further, trying to save time and I boot myself out of here. Before we go any further, we've got the notorious Nan Gallagher people. What's up, Nan?
How are ya?
Doing good, homie. How are you?
I'm doing great. Looking forward to, oh, I got to turn my email off. I'm looking forward to going back to being a lawyer. So should be fun.
Good. Good, good, good. So before I go further, just so you guys know, Young Jerks is having like a fundraiser for Karen Reed and Turtle Boy right now. So go give them a like, and if you can donate, that's very helpful because they could both really use your help, meaning Turtle Boy and Karen Reed. They could really use your help. So if you're feeling generous, and also Tom has a Seeking Justice with Tom and Mike. They have a fundraiser going on. I have that pinned to the top. So you can win Bruins tickets. It's $10. SD will be dropping the details in the chat quite a bit, but it has everything except the $10 price. But all the information that you need is in the comment that's pinned to the top of the chat. So make sure, if you guys are feeling, slothy, then please go on over to that link that I've got pinned to the top of the chat, or go over to Mike Young Jerks and find out how you can donate, and then come back over here, because we got a lot to go over. So now, Nan, I don't know what you want to go over first. Which, just give me first of all what your impression of all this shit was in the first place. Now you've gone over all of it already.
Yes, I've gone over it, and well, to answer your first question, I like to go through things in order. It kind of jives with how I do things, but I'm willing to hop around if people say no, go to this, or if you have strong feelings about something that I don't, but I'm all about number. I have assistants now, so people set things up for me. Yeah, I put out a bat call on X, and I have organized assistants just because this has turned into a second job for me. But in terms of big picture, for someone like me who,
a second job where you pay money.
Yeah. Someone's going to have to convince me that I'm a grifter. But yeah, that's true. I'm
still working on it.
But anyway, I'm in looking at my body of work, like Motion and Lemonade Day is fun for me. I enjoy that because you kind of lay it all out there. And in many courts, it's more of a rolling deadline. Like you can still. Yeah.
Real quick, what does Motion and Lemonade mean exactly?
So motions in limine are essentially evidentiary motions. They're motions where one side or the other seeks to include or get permission to include or to exclude certain evidence at the time of trial. So it kind of sets the ground rules before trial to avoid the necessity of sidebars. So that way you're not tipping your hand to a jury or making it sound like you really object to something strenuously, hearkening back to A Few Good Men. So it really kind of lays the groundwork ahead of time.
Right on. Okay. So
and
awesome.
And by the way, well, for your audience, I have worn my did somebody call a Juris Doctor? Sure. So I am a lawyer, and I'm here to break it down for you guys in the most scintillating fashion.
Sweet.
But just to go back to your question, what do I make of all of it? My takeaways are the defense is kind of curing up maybe some understepping last time, some things that probably should have settled before trial 1.0. And they're more aggressively pursuing remedies to try to fix problems. For example, they don't want the McAlberts glaring, pardon the pun, at the jury because it's intimidating. Even though Ronnie said he really wasn't fearful, it was a little intimidating. One might even hearken that to witness intimidation, but I'd call it jury intimidation, which I don't believe is a felony up in Massachusetts. We'll have to look into that.
But witness intimidation is, because that makes sense.
Yes, it might be. But also, as far as trying to, the Commonwealth is doing the consistent theme for the Commonwealth. They are just trying to pick away at her defense, kneecap it, like I was saying when I was on with you last time. And if that doesn't make all of you sick to your stomach, that's the way to prosecute a case, is to kneecap a defense that every defendant in the United States has a constitutional right to advance, then I don't know what to tell you. So,
Yeah.
big picture for you.
Yeah, I mean, well, thank you for explaining the motions in limine. I
think of
you
it like
you-
eliminating. You're eliminating problems.
right. I was just going to ask you where you passed the test, and before I could finish the test, the final question of the test, whether it derived from the Latin eliminati, then yes, then you passed. Good job. Well done, Nan. I think you're qualified. All right, we got to do one. And then we're moving forward. Okay, it's happening.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. 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 I think we got a super dad.
How dare you?
Diane, thank you so much. Keep showing up, Nan.
That's a Gallagher right there, and she's not my relative. I think,
nice.
if I'm getting it right. Thank you.
Right on.
And also, I just wanted you all to know you're going to see me with my badass glasses on most of the evening and my head down or tilted to the side while I look at motions, because I hope everyone can just give a little bit of grace, because this is a little, it's a side gig for me, which I really enjoy. But to the extent that anyone wants to go through motions line by line by line, there are many other content creators out there who do that. That's just not my jam.
Not mine either, unless it's like one motion.
Just promise me one thing, Will, before we get into it. I need at some point this evening for you to say prima facie, or to say, you said another word the other day, which just had me rolling. You're
Punt.
No, I think it was your attempt.
What?
I think it was the word surreptitiously, but that was related to another matter of which I know nothing.
It was typed wrong until I read it.
Anyway, I'm going to tease you a little bit tonight. You're going to get snark and comedy with my new BFF.
Good. Yes,
So,
that's what they're here for. So hold on one second. Let me pull up which number do you want to start with?
okay. Can I pretend you're my bitch for this? I love it. No.
Absolutely.
Twat.
All right. So, I come prepared. I'm prepared. All right. So first, it looks like I would like to start with number 558, which is the defense. By the way, big picture, guys, if my math is correct, defendants filed 19 motions in limine, and the Commonwealth filed 17, maybe 16, if you count a little technicality there. That's a shit ton. Usually you'll see, from my experience, anywhere from 8 to 12. This is a lot. So, and let's not forget, if I understood Judge Bev's order, I think the oppositions are due Friday. So be prepared for some popping off on Friday as well. And, Will, if you need me at any time this weekend, you know how to find me.
Hell yeah. So what number are we starting with?
558.
558.
Yeah, that's defense motion in limine to present a demonstrative evidence, a demonstrative exhibit. So
I wonder if they all came. Hold on, because I got to go through each one. I don't.
Oh,
They're
okay.
not sent. They're not sent in order.
Well, it doesn't matter. I can actually discuss it, Will, even if you don't find it per number, because this is really easy for your audience. And everyone be kind on the chat because I'm definitely not looking at it. All right. So
Yeah, mine start at 559.
no
But
problem. That's okay. We're gonna get to that in just a moment. So
okay.
558 is a motion to present a demonstrative exhibit. And in a
Okay.
nutshell, the defense wants to be able to present some type of chart or chalk, which I guess they call up in Massachusetts, to try to make heads or tails of the word salad and bullshit that Christina Hanley set forth. She was a forensic scientist who worked for the Massachusetts State Police Lab. I don't
Okay.
think she works there anymore, but she gave a lot of testimony on the shards of glass. And there's
Yeah.
so some of this I'm literally fusing
So
in
who
memory and
filed this motion? The defense or the prosecution?
the defense. We're going to be going
Okay.
through a lot of
And
defense.
they're trying to exclude this lady's bullshit testimony.
Nope. They're trying to be able to present when they cross-examine her a
Okay.
chart, like a big think of like a big board that
Okay.
so that way this piece of glass matches this is this exhibit number matches that. Where did you find this? What does it tell you? Because there was confusion as to what is the origin of that glass? How many pieces were of it? Was it a cocktail glass? Was it a tumbler glass? Is it glass from, and I'm using the word glass in this instance, of a tail light, which yes, I know that's not glass, but the point is juries get their eyes glazed over when they go through this kind of stuff. So a demonstrative, like a big exhibit, a chalk, which Bev hates chalks, by the way. I mean, she fucking hates them, which is ridiculous, just so everyone
She
understands.
hates everything. She hates like AV. She hates everything.
When she didn't hate AV. She didn't hate AV when Hanky put his exhibits up during the motion to
Yeah.
dismiss. That was fine. Nobody got permission to
I
do
don't
that.
need a monitor right in front of me. I have enough stuff here.
Yeah, I got to work on my. By the way, I'm crooked. I apologize for your audience, for anyone who's like neurodivergent. But anyway, I got to work on my Judge Bev voice. And as I grow my bangs back out, maybe I don't look like her tonight. Anyway, so they want to present a demonstrative, a chalk that spells it out. And I can tell your audience from experience, that would be helpful. And by the way, it would be helpful to the Commonwealth as well. So we'll see by Friday if the Commonwealth opposes it. And also, underlying everything I discussed this evening is the fact that we are all in a different galaxy in Norfolk County, in her courtroom. There is a void of predictability. This motion should be granted. So
Right.
hopefully I hit that one fast enough for you guys, but having an exhibit like that would be helpful. I can't speak to the motivations of the defense other than to tell you that they probably feel like there's some meaningful evidence in the glass that that was procured. So that's it in a nutshell. It's boring, but hopefully she'll grant it, and or it's unopposed and she grants it as a matter of course. That's what we say. So
Right on.
then number 559 is
559. All right, hold on. Let me pull that up. Let me see if I
I'm
can.
gonna pull it up too. I got a lot of, while you're pulling it up, don't mind me. I got a lot of feedback from why can't I open it?
Now is that? Hold on a second.
I got a lot of feedback from people on X and Facebook saying, please make all of this make sense. Like
I'm gonna have to email it to myself. Hold on a second.
Oh, okay.
Stupidity.
Well, I can
Yeah, because it's all in a PDF, but I can't share the PDF because it was text to me.
If you won't mind for one moment, let me see if I can have my assistant send it to you. Would that make sense?
You can, sure.
Okay.
Or I could just
Anyway,
email it to myself.
you could do that too. I don't have screen sharing capability in your show. Okay, it's fine. Email, drive.
No, yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
All right. If you text me your email, I will. This is a very trustworthy person. Okay. So, all right. So
I'm gonna text you my email. Hold on.
I think I might have it, but I'm just gonna talk to you guys, okay? While Will gets his shit together. Number 559 was a motion to exclude irrelevant, inadmissible, and prejudicial bad behavior evidence or bad character evidence. And just so you all understand, that's what what's her name? The fuck around and find out woman.
I have that whole conversation too. Like I thought, like a worst case scenario, we could just fucking do a petty stream if we get through this quick enough, but I don't think we will.
We're gonna try, because you know what?
Okay.
It's not your audience is like, I think your audience doesn't even want to get into too much minutia anyway, but we'll see.
Yeah, probably not. Like we could just we can make this fun.
Yeah.
But let's get through this one real quick. All right. So I have this PDF. Hold on. Let me go ahead and share it. Here we go. So.
All right.
It's not going to work.
It's not going to work for you?
No. I'm just talking to myself because I accidentally just go ahead. It's fine.
Anyway, so this is what the fuck around and find out woman was talking about on that god awful clip, which I should add to you. I put a picture up on Instagram with my fuck around and find out glasses. I actually wear these all the time, but it occurred to me while I was walking into a meeting last night that I look like her. I'm not going to speak ill of her, but what? I did look like her.
Did you make that person angry earlier this week or something?
Well, I'm sure I didn't, but she yeeted herself off of X because
she ain't got nothing on you.
I think I think one of your mods gave her a run for her money. That's all I'll say about that. So, anyway, bad character evidence, it's kind of elusive. A lot of people, especially prosecutions, they try to put in evidence against defendants that say, well, this defendant's a bad person, therefore they committed the crime. There's a whole body of evidence rules and case law that says you really can't do that. The general rule is that type of evidence doesn't come in because it's not I didn't want to say your name, Esty, but that's it. Yeah. You questioned her, Esty. How dare you? Esty is a powerhouse on X. But ultimately, the general rule is that bad character evidence of prior bad acts and such, that doesn't come in as proof that you committed a crime. There are 4 exceptions, and I won't bore your audience with the specifics of all of them, but essentially you can bring it in when I did make some notes, so pardon me. Either you need to impeach a witness, meaning kind of get them to contravene prior testimony, when character is directly related to the issue, when you need to prove motive or intent, which is clearly what the Commonwealth is doing here. They're trying to say, well, because Karen had a fight or words with one of the Sullivan sisters, that she therefore is a bad person and had a motive to kill John a month later. Does that sound reasonable to you? I don't. But
Not even a little bit. We went over that when it was a trial, and what was interesting about it is the person that the Commonwealth brought on, this Sullivan person that the Commonwealth brought on to testify, even admitted she freely said so that Karen felt bad about it and made it right. She offered to pay for the rest of her stay in Aruba. And like, okay, so right there, that tells you that it was squashed back then.
yeah, I think that's
You
a great
know?
word. That's a great word. And just in case you want to learn any of this stuff, all of you, it's like Karen can't speak for herself unless she takes the stand. And
Right.
everyone understands that she has a right not to, and she will make a decision based on guidance from her counsel. I know she wants to talk. I know, but it's little things like this, like defending yourself with regard to some stupid disagreement in Aruba. Like she can't speak for herself. So therefore, it's unfair for the Commonwealth to put in evidence that says, well, she's a bad person. Look at this. We want to prove motive against her. And the only, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Will, I'm going to forecast for you. There's going to be a lot more atypical interrupting this evening. So from me. So I'm very sorry about that.
No worries. Well, I was going to say, like, it's interesting because I actually think it's a bad idea in theory for Karen to take the stand in regards to this situation and defend herself, because I'm afraid that there's the risk that she'll come off to the jury the way that Jen McCabe came off last trial. Does that make sense? Like to come off in defense of herself so much,
Yeah,
like I could see her going, well, I offered for her to stay and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Coming from her after the jury has been seeing her make looks at her parents and things like that, it's probably a bad idea. I would think
it's
so.
a risk. It is. And, I know from personal experience, even when I've had to defend myself since coming into this circus, and people have said to me, you're coming off defensive. You don't need to defend yourself, or you're too this or that to a fault. So you can never predict how someone's going to perceive you. So what this motion essentially says is it cites the general rule, which is that you don't get into evidence of bad character as a matter of course, and therefore any argument or disagreement with one of the Sullivan sisters. I so want to affectionately use the term that Aiden Carney uses for them, but I won't. Anyway, if anyone's wondering why I'm like really holding back, that is because I curse like a sailor. Anyway, so ultimately, I imagine that
somebody will throw a donation in Turtle Boy's defense fund as a swear jar type thing every time you do it.
Yeah.
So I'm just kidding. I don't want to put you in that position. We should.
And the funny thing is, like, about
every time Nan says a naughty word, you guys got to donate $2 to.
We'll do a swear match. Should we do a swear?
To Turtle Boy's defense.
That's I'm gonna file that in the idea bank. We might end up doing that. But the other part of this motion is like they want to bring in evidence about basically they, meaning the Commonwealth, is going to want to bring in evidence about Karen's bad behavior. So, if she had a disagreement with John, if she was saying things to him or really that others heard that would be hearsay, the Commonwealth wants to show that that is essentially evidence of a motive to either kill him or that they had a, quote, hostile relationship. And that is really improper. You're not supposed to allow that. And now, should Judge Bev grant this motion? Yes, she should. This does not show that she's a bad person. It doesn't show that she had a motive to kill him.
Not even a little bit.
No. And honestly, like that alone, if I was never a prosecutor, I've dealt with many in my career, but if I were a prosecutor, and a lot of the former prosecutor law tubers have been saying, like, I would have never brought on this case. for so many reasons, all that reasonable doubt that we always talk about, but also like this is your motive. And you don't have to prove motive.
That's the weakest motive ever.
It's pretty lame. So and I think your audience is astute enough to know, like, they don't have to prove motive to prove murder. But it sure helps because juries want to hear that. They want to have like all the ingredients so they can make the pie or whatever they're cooking up in the jury room. Besides notebooks that are accessed by fanning. Whoa. Anyway, so that's I would it's so funny, by the way, Will, the other night when you were showing pictures and all of the you guys were content creators and I were standing in front of that big safe in the basement of the Registry of Deeds, and you were like, I don't know what that safe is. It's probably where all your taxpayer money is going. And after the stream, I thought that's probably where they should have locked the fucking juror notebooks, but I guess they didn't. Anyway, so this motion number 559 is like the very standard motion on bad character, prior bad acts. It should be granted. And honestly, given the bias course that's been happening, I don't know. So, Bev could either say, no, it comes in, it's going to show motive, let the jury decide, or she's going to then also possibly be contradictory to prior rulings for 1.0, where she says, well, I let it in last time, so I'm going to let it in this time. And then we all say, but didn't she say it's a new fucking trial? So you can't win. And no one like me is going to be able to predict that for all of you. But 559 in a nutshell.
That's right there, $2, y'all.
By the way, guys, if somebody can just please throw in the chat if this is really boring shit. Like, I know Will's not boring, but law is boring. So I'll try to make it more interesting for you.
Yeah, you guys know that you're the ones who have to donate to the swear jar, not Nan. It's you guys, not Nan.
We'll see.
Nan's already off the hook donating. She's already off the hook.
We'll fucking see about that, Mr. Glare. I'm feeling kind of generous today, but I'm not making a promise. We'll see. So number
here's an IOU.
Here's an IOU. All right. Number 569. Nope, 560. It'd be nice if I could count. 560 is defense motion to impound portions of, actually, we don't really need to go over that. So just so you know, 559 and 560 are basically supporting documents that needed to have been filed so that they could file number 561. Oh, sorry. I apologize. I got to keep these on, guys. I'm sorry about the glare. I mean, not the glarer, the glare.
I'm sorry about the glare.
That's okay. I make no apologies for you. So 5.
No, it's got to go to Turtle Boy's Defense Fund. That's pinned to the top of the chat. But $10 gets you in the running for the Bruins ticket. So you got to do all the instructions that are in the instructions in the pinned comment, if that makes sense.
And
thank you so much.
You know what? Just so your audience is aware, I'm working on a little fundraising idea that I came up with today. So stay tuned. Maybe we can do something one of the next times if you ever ask me on again. I'm working on something for you. All right.
We'll see.
So, guys, just so you know,
make sure to mind your P's and Q's.
I put the numbers after the motions. What I should have done is put the numbers before the motion. So 560 and 561 are precursors that had to have been filed before number 562, which is what you should look at. Well,
562.
Yeah, 562.
At 562, isn't that missing or something?
Oh, crap.
I don't have 562.
That's a good point.
That's the one you told me you were missing, isn't it?
It is, and I've been hearing I've been hearing on X, and I've been hearing from others that 562 was not posted. So if I'm wrong, I can tell you what I think the motion is about, and anyone can put it under my nose through X or Facebook, after the stream, and I'll give you guys my take. But it appears to me that 562, which is the defense motion to exclude certain witnesses before and after testimony.
That's 563. That's what I got marked 563 right here.
Well,
And the petty paralegal just gifted 10 friggin' memberships, people. Oh my God. Hold on. We got to do it. No. Wait. Thank you, the petty paralegal, so much.
Thank you. Oh, by the way, the 562 and 563 are the same, except one is redacted, one is not redacted. So that makes sense. So look at 563. There you go.
Yeah, I got it pulled up right here. So 563, if I had to guess right now, is basically like the defendant's way of trying to make sure that the McAlberts don't sit there and stare at the jury when they're getting jury instructions, like they did last time.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
And, I mean, I could tell by the title.
Yeah. And so, that should resonate with a lot of you. That it's intimidating. I've heard a lot of people kind of say, well, why don't they change the seating in that little courtroom, and why can't Karen's family also be sitting where the O'Keefe family is, and switch it? I don't think that'll ever happen, but I do think it is really problematic when you have people accused under a third-party culprit defense sitting and staring.
Yeah.
I mean, we sat in that courtroom.
I was streaming it in real time, and I was like, how is this allowed? This is crazy. Like, they are staring, like Brian Albert is staring dead at that jury.
I mean,
right now.
And this is my Brian Albert. Can I do my Brian Albert visual impersonation?
Please.
Here it is.
Okay, here we go, folks. There. Oh my God, dude, that is. Nan Gallagher, thespian, everyone.
Did I scare you? I'd be scared if
I'm scared. I'm
thugs
scared.
like that.
I'm scared.
Somebody just put in your chat and I missed it. Let me just scroll up for a minute. Someone mentioned that something about the Peggy McGee trial, and I'm really bad.
The what?
Yeah, so Melanie was saying the seating in Judge Bev's courtroom during the Peggy McGee trial, and now I can't find the chat. But Judge Bev handled a bench trial just a month ago.
Yeah.
That the woman
that she called fairly, amazingly.
Yeah. So and I apologize to whomever just wrote that. It's very hard for me to scroll back and talk at the same time, but seating during the trial, her family is where the O'Keefes are sitting. Thanks, Lawleen. So basically, the defendant's family was seated where the O'Keefes are seated in the Peggy McGee trial. You know, they should probably ask.
Penny McGee trial, the family wasn't seated where they are now, where O'Keefe's are.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's, in my opinion, it's worth an ask, and it kind of goes. It's thematic with this motion we're talking about, because it's about situating people in the right places or better places, or removing them from places in a way to impact or not impact the jury. That part, though, about the seating for the Reed family, that is not part of this motion.
Give us another Brian Albert. Let's go real quick. One more Brian Albert.
I can't. Oh shit! I can't.
Keep rolling.
I can't. I promise. I will try more later. But I'm hopped up on law right now. That was great, though.
Right.
Tell Joe Flipperhead to clip that shit. And send it to the no, don't send it anywhere. Just send it to Will.
Yeah, no,
That was great music though.
Yeah.
All right, we're cooking.
We're cooking. Let's go.
All right, what do we got? Number 564, please. Anyone, we should put a poll. How many people think that I should make Will my bitch for the rest of the evening on his channel?
God. What in the fuck, man?
Throw that in that swear jar.
Jesus. What is going on right now? What did I do to you?
You've been, oh Jesus.
What the fuck?
Will and Nan making motions great again. Like this shit is so boring.
We
But
gone over like 2 of them, and there's like 19.
Nobody is going to go on any other content creator and say, wow, you really made motions in Lemonade fun. Like that's what you're going to get here, folks.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
So number 4, excuse me, what is it? 564.
Or 4. Yeah. 562 and 563 are the same ones. All right. 564. Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I got it right here. Defendant's motion in Lemonade for view. I don't know what that means.
You are not sharing it, but that's okay because I have it in front of me. So they want to have this is their request to have the jury view the crime scene, which one might question what is the crime scene, but this motion is to have the
I wonder this brings me to a question because I haven't read this, but it makes me wonder if Ronnie's interview with Turtle Boy had any effect on this, because they want the jury to see. But I remember Ronnie saying that they were instructed to not pay too much attention to the details.
Yeah, look the other way.
So what's the point of taking them to the crime scene if they're supposed to disregard the details?
Well, it was an interesting when I heard him say that, I was like, well, who the fuck told you that? Like,
right. And why the fuck would you be like, that's, not suspicious at all? What?
Yeah. Like it's shit like that, and I don't want to keep referring
that gets me annoyed with Ronnie. Yeah.
Yeah. Ronnie, come on, buddy. Step up.
Dude.
Step up.
Right.
But he was told what he was told. And I hate to juxtapose the Alec Murdaugh trial again, but that's one of the things that got that court clerk in trouble, because she was making comments at the crime scene. So who knows who said what to that jury? But if a jury gets permission and, judicial authority to have a view of a crime scene, you go and you soak it all in. I mean, I'm not even a juror, and I went and I soaked it all in a few days ago just because I wanted to be able to assess certain things, like how big is the lawn? Oh, hi, Britt. How big is the lawn? How far is the door? How far is it from the side latched gate to the area where John's body allegedly was found? That's very important. But also the motion talks about, they want the Lexus there when it happens. That's also helpful, because this jury should also.
Olivia is saying that she thinks it's a bad idea to have like the defendant, the alleged murder weapon at the crime scene for the jury to see.
I'd be interested to know why. Was that in the chat or was that on Twitter?
I saw it in the chat. I just didn't highlight it, but
I don't know if I have an opinion on that. I mean, I think they should see the vehicle. I think they should see the crime scene. I think it's helpful. You could argue both ways. It's helpful in my mind for a jury to soak in. Well, that's a great point, Olivia. You put the image in the jury's head, but at the same time, it could influence the jury the other way. The jury may say, God, this road's pretty flat.
But maybe it's a good thing. Yeah, and maybe it's a good thing. Like, maybe it's a good thing to be like, The prosecution expects you to believe that she went 26 miles per hour for this, or however fast, I forgot already. To go this far, and then John O'Keefe ends up 10 feet over there. You know what I mean? So that I see what Olivia is talking about, and I that makes sense. But I feel like, considering the facts, I'm gonna trust the defense on this one because they probably have something like that up their sleeves. I would think, like if they're gonna paint that picture, they have the advantage to paint the picture and go, what they're trying to tell you happened is clearly next to impossible, if not impossible.
It also have to do with the bend in the road and the elevation or lack thereof of the road. And, a lot of people think differently. A lot of people are very visual. I'm very visual. I look at things and I say, there's no way this could happen. Other people might say, oh, look, that car is so big and it hit him and he ended up over here. It's a crapshoot. If I were to suspect what I think happened, or the motivation is they want to give the opportunity to soak it in, all of it, and they think that seeing the vehicle with the crime scene, the terrain, etc., will help ARCA better be better.
I just feel like the defense, knowing this defense at this point as well as we do, I feel, because I actually agree with Olivia, except because we know this defense as well as we do, I have to believe that they have something up their sleeves that we're not thinking about. You know what I mean? I have to give them the credit that they have already considered what Olivia fears. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's the kind of stuff lawyers lose sleep on. Like we think about that stuff left and right. I've even changed my mind on things like that at the 11th hour, where I was like, I'm going to do this. And then at the 11th hour, I chickened out. I was like, no, I'm not. And that was the best decision I ever made, was to not do something. So that's also a benefit to having a team of lawyers,
right?
Because, and by the way, the Commonwealth has a team of lawyers. I'm not saying it's a good team. It's the fucking bad news bears. But the point is, if anyone thinks that Hank Brennan wrote any of their motions, which we'll be talking about, I'm sure they were all ghost written by McLaughlin. I never looked who signed them, but she seems to be,
I had to ding you. I had to ding you there.
Sorry. Oh my God. Okay. I feel like I'm
funny.
back.
Like, have you watched my show?
That's awesome.
Funny.
All right. So moving on, we got number 565. A defense motion in limine to prohibit the testimony regarding funds paid to experts for purposes of voir dire. So let me give your audience just a little tip, and this may help for you too, Will. When you're looking at least properly written motions, and therefore I am referring to ones submitted by the defense. When you're looking at motions like that, if you want just the bullet, you want to know, what is it? What was this about? Skip, maybe glance a little bit at the factual background, which is right in the beginning, but then jump over the argument section. There's this whole section called argument. Just jump over it and get to the end, where they towards the end, where they tie it all together. So, they go through their legal argument on here. And in this motion, the defense wants to prohibit any testimony regarding funds paid to experts for purposes of voir diring this jury. And in essence, there should be no reference to the jury to talk. They shouldn't know how much she's had to pay, or who she's paid, or who was paid by whom, etc., for purposes of selecting a jury. I mean, it's honestly a pretty standard motion. We call these like boilerplate. And
I feel like the majority of the motions that were filed are pretty standard.
They are.
Yeah.
You're, like I said, usually I see around 8 to 12. They've got 19 for the defense, but this is a standard one. The jury shouldn't be shouldn't
Now,
be
do you
making
think
judgment.
do you think that the defense dropped all these in one day on a Tuesday the way that they did as a strategy to overwhelm the prosecution, or did they do it just because there's a time constraint and they're expected for the trial to start on April 1st, or both? What do you think?
I think it's a combination of both, but I think they absolutely did it to fuck Brennan over this week. I know I would have.
It's just to overwhelm his plate, just to be like, eat up.
Yeah.
Here, have some more sloppy joes.
Yeah, like if anyone wants to take even a modicum of pleasure out of this, the Commonwealth is having a bad week. They are. They have to oppose maybe some of these little ceremonious motions are of no consequence to them, but they'll have to oppose all of these motions in a compliant way.
Now, Olivia Nile is saying Monday was the deadline for limine motions, but I mean, even still, like they could have filed them, one after the other. You know what I mean?
Normally, attorneys will file them all on the date of the deadline, but they could have they could have rolled them in sooner. I mean, some of these are, like I was saying, boilerplate. Like they could have filed some of these weeks ago, but I think they did an entire dump just to dump on Brennan because he's piece of shit. I'm sorry. Like I don't know how to say it in a
they did it like 19 of them. Like, all right, let's just fucking give this guy fucking hell week.
Well, and if you really want to take great pleasure in it, Will, which I do, I'm a little bit
I'm a big fan.
I'm a sadist, but if you really want to take great pleasure in it, if you look at the court's docket, the defense dumped a whole.
This guy is unfucking believable.
The defense dumped the whole what?
The defense dumped a whole shit ton of them on the Commonwealth, and then the Commonwealth fired back with 16 or 17 motions, and then the defense dumped several more. So it was like, here you go, and then screw you. You think we're done? Here's another unloading, and I'm all for
have
that.
some more sloppy joes.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like Rocky movies where he gets that he's in the corner, he's getting the shit kicked out of him, but he really Mickey's talking to him and he gets fired up again, or Apollo's talking to him.
I want you to eat lightning and crap thunder.
Exactly.
And then Rocky starts going, like you hear the bell, ding, or like the not the ring bell, but the fucking toll bell, right?
Yeah, the toll bell. Like
and then he gets up and he starts when he's throwing his punches, sounds like a drunk woman throwing up in the fucking back of a bar, and then he fucking kicks ass. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, like that's what they did. So they did like a 1-2 punch type of thing to the Commonwealth, and I'm here for it. So number 565 is pretty standard. They want to limit the jury from hearing evidence for voir dire as to whether or not what the experts were paid. I don't want this jury, if I were her attorney, I don't want the jury knowing how much they cost, and I don't want Karen coming off as like some rich woman.
That's what they're trying to do. That's actually a really smart move on the defense's part right there. I mean, I don't think she's going to grant it, but right. But I think that like that's smart because they know that Brennan is going to like really try to hit that home and be like, how much did the Commonwealth, how much did the defense actually pay you to be here? Were there any cash exchanges or any promises of any? Right. And then the next thing you know, like, the jury thinks that the defense is just paying off experts.
Yeah, it's optics, and juries, as you've seen, can be like they can draw the weirdest conclusions out of the stupidest stuff. Like,
right?
They just want to keep it out.
Because they don't know what we know. You know what I mean? At least they're not supposed to. Yeah. But they don't know what we know, so
They
So
don't.
like if I mean, and that's typical. And the problem is that the chances of them going into this thinking that Karen is actually innocent before thinking that she's guilty are pretty slim, because that's just normally the person who's on trial is, might be guilty. They wouldn't be on trial if they weren't. So that's the way the jury's going to look at it. And so when the jury sees a defendant with a team of lawyers, and then they have experts, and then the prosecution goes, how much did you were you promised any particular monetary recompensation or blah 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 blah, and then
Right.
they're just going to be like, the jury immediately is going to be like, oh, if he says even $1, then the defense is shady.
It really annoys me how people draw the wrong conclusions. In fact, it's on all different things. Like when I first started trying cases in the first few years, I was coming to court dressed to the nines, like wearing my nice suits. And, I try to put pride in my appearance. And, a lot of jurors, I'd get some feedback after I won a lot of trials. But I would get feedback afterwards that they thought I was too dressy or, too attentive to my apparel. Like
That's got to be tricky, man.
it is. And I made it, make a specific point now of kind of just dressing more like, like everyone. I'm dressed formally for court, but I'm not wearing like, Prada suits, etc. So
Right.
it's really just meant to keep irrelevant, prejudicial evidence out of the jury's mind. And that arguably is what this motion is talking about. So we can move along.
Let's move along. Let's do it.
So what do we got? We got
566, I think.
566. 566 is the her motion for attorney conducted panel voir dire. That's
See, y'all
also
think I'm not on top of shit, but I'm on top of shit.
I love it.
Defendants Karen Reed's motion for attorney conducted panel voir dire.
Oh, I love the botched Latin. It really gets me every time. You want to get me going?
It's the corrected Latin because I'm the one saying it. So once it comes out of my mouth, it has become blessed to be redefined and repronounced. Okay.
I love it. All right, sir. This is a standard motion, though. Like they just want to conduct a voir dire on
a standard motion.
Yeah,
okay.
And they want to ask questions of the jury as to, and there will be jury questionnaires, which I don't believe we will have access to, that ask certain questions that are standard by the rules of court and then are tailored and customized by the attorneys. Things like, do you have any criminal background? Have you ever driven drunk? Have you ever been in a car accident? Have you ever been in a domestically DV relationship? And not to imply that has anything to do with this case, but they'll ask things that might be relevant to the case or have some type of tangential relevance that allows the attorneys to kind of seek out whether or not they want to strike certain jurors. And if there was exhibits, I didn't see them, but they must have submitted their proposed questions to the court. And the defense specifically has proposed their questions in line with the court rules up there, and hopefully the court allows them. I mean, I tried a case in September. I asked the best, most tailored questions for this jury, and a judge would not let me include on the questionnaire, do you watch YouTube? Why would you not allow that? Like, this is a 69-year-old judge who has no understanding that a large group of people who would probably end up being attractive jurors might gather their information and news from YouTube. I know I do. So, it depends on what Bev will do. Standard motion, though. Why are you so quiet? You're muted. Hopefully you're muted, or this is going to become the Nan Gallagher show.
I was muted, but I was putting up a poll here because I'm wondering here if people want to go through every single one of these motions, because I think we got it right. Like, if you think about it, we know what's going on here, right? The defense is basically just trying to shape things to go in their favor, try to cover what happened last time to not happen again. They're being very thorough. We got it, right? So I'm wondering if they would rather watch us just tear apart someone else's take on this stuff.
Well, I don't think I get to see your poll as a guest on. Oh, there it is. Petty's.
Yeah.
Oh, Petty stream.
Right.
I just voted for one. Yeah. Whatever. But I apologize if I was boring.
No. It was not you at all. Not you at all.
Okay.
I mean, you made this as fun as it could possibly be, but it's 19 fucking motions. So
while your poll is like pending, by the way, getting some feedback. I mean, the big picture, the defense did, and we don't have to go through them one by one, but just for
right.
The defense has really taken a little bit of a more aggressive approach on some of their motions. Like, they want to exclude the serum plasma ethanol concentration. They want to knock that out. So the retrograde extrapolation of her blood alcohol level, which in my opinion is,
they should knock out anything that had to do with her blood alcohol level, because she wasn't even intoxicated when they took it. Like, she was
right.
Like, you have to do it on the scene. That's when you do it.
You have to do it on the scene, and
right.
In line with what you're saying, like, she could have gone home and consumed more alcohol. I don't know. I mean, I don't go home and consume more alcohol, except when I'm on your streams the first time I was on. But the point is, like, that's good. That's a good aggressive move that they took to try to knock it out. I don't think Bev will grant it. They want to oh, wait, there was another one that I thought was very interesting. Motion to prohibit the Commonwealth from speaking with or having any contact with any witnesses once they've taken the stand. Yeah. By the way, that happened. Like, I know, and nobody's going to convince me otherwise, and I'm sure you agree that the Commonwealth, and most notably Lally and other high-level law enforcement, completely talked to people who had taken the stand already. There were too many coincidental breaks between, like, think about it, like, Buchanan didn't finish in one day, and then suddenly the next day he was able to clean up the whole inverted video bullshit. Jen McCabe didn't finish in one day. So there's always been this kind of pause or cessation between when, like, a really critical witness starts to take the stand, and then they come in and they clean up a little bit of their testimony, or they just get a little pep talk.
I have always been, and this is unpopular with some people, but I have always been, and I stand by it, of the opinion that Karen Reed was intoxicated. I have always been of that opinion, but I know that she didn't hit him. I know that.
Right.
But I believe, I'm like, come on, like, technically, at least over the legal limit is what I mean, now, do I think that she was so hammered that she, wouldn't have realized? But no, I mean, if she drove home without incident, there's nothing about even the data that was collected from Trooper Paul's analysis doesn't indicate erratic driving or, like, so
Right.
You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, I think that she had enough to drink to be over the legal limit? Yes. Do I think that she was so drunk that she didn't know what the hell was going on? But do I think that alcohol had something to do with the rage in her voicemails that she left? Sure. But to me, that just makes sense. But if she's so drunk and then she's leaving these voicemails, there's not one slip up of anything that may or may not have happened. If she's that drunk, she's that calculated, she's that drunk, she's so out of it that she doesn't even realize that she hit John O'Keefe, right? But she's so drunk that she hits John O'Keefe and freaks out and runs off, right? Because the Commonwealth can't really nail down a theory here. So there's this shit going around, and then when she's calling and leaving these voicemails, there's nothing in those voicemails to make you suspicious that she had just committed manslaughter or murder. You know what I mean?
Right. And I think these are great observations on your part. And yet again, I agree with you. And, you're making me think of Turtle Boy had his show last night, and I don't know the minute mark, but somewhere in it, he was kind of talking about like it kind of harkened back to, you remember he did his piece, and by the way, I was the viewer who pointed it out to you before you knew me, on the minute mark. But remember his piece on like if she did it, and he went through a whole rant of like if she really did it.
Sure.
Okay, that was me.
That's probably one of my favorite Turtle Boy pieces on a live stream that he ever did, because it was just like, absolutely, like none of that shit adds up. None of it tracks to somebody who actually hit somebody and was trying to get away with it. Like,
yeah. And by the way, that was like the first time I think that I ever I might have even had a different handle at the time, but that was the first time I ever like said something in your chat, and I was like, you got to see this. It's at minute mark this. But last night in his show, he didn't spend a ton of time on it. But he said that, had she done it, like she would have behaved completely differently the next day. She would have been like, all up in Jen McCabe's business. She would have been doing this. She would have been doing that. Like, do you think she wouldn't have shouted at the top of her lungs, wait, no, he went in the house. I saw him go in the house. Like all this stuff.
right.
She didn't do that.
She didn't know anything.
Right.
She didn't know anything. She called Jen McCabe. This is my theory. And I've stuck to this theory, and I stick to this theory. He called Jen McCabe because she suspected John of cheating on her. And she couldn't stand the idea that she's sitting there with the kids that he's supposed to be responsible for, and he's out having a good old time with some other woman, because they were having problems earlier that day. They were supposed to go out and work on it, whatever. And they were happy. They were having a good time, even according to the McAlberts who testified.
Yeah.
That everybody was having a good time. Everybody was happy, right? But then all of a sudden he goes inside this house, never comes out, leaves her sitting there like a fucking knob. And now she's like, she feels foolish. She's angry. Like I'm the one you fucking do this shit to, dude. What the fuck? Like, and I'm sitting here with your kids, and of course she's mad. She doesn't know what to do. She's got half a mind to just get up and fucking leave, but she's not an asshole. So she's like, somebody's got to be responsible for these kids. She calls her mom or her dad and says, what the fuck do I do here? They don't answer, right? And then she's leaving these angry voicemails, hoping that at some point he picks up and goes, dude, fucking, she goes, get the fuck over here. I'm here with your kids. What the fuck is going on? But every single voicemail is, you're a pervert. You're sick, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking that if I'm, and I don't know what it's like to be a woman, but if I'm a woman who suspects that my man might be cheating on me with Jen McCabe of all fucking people, right? And my mind is racing, and there's alcohol involved in that, and my mind is going crazy. My imagination's going crazy, and I'm thinking about my man fucking Jen McCabe.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, you're sick. You're a sick pervert, because only a sick pervert would want to fuck Jen McCabe. Like there's no, you know what I'm saying?
I
So
do.
it makes perfect sense to me that Karen Reed would call him a pervert and freak out and focus on that. There's no, you know,
But see, I think you really do
if she
get
was
it.
trying to cover it up, she would have been like, John, I'm worried about you. Where are you? I'm so concerned. I love you so much. That's what these fake ass people who have no empathy and try to pretend like they do. They
Right.
do that thinking they're fooling people. And that's what she would be doing for the benefit of her voicemails being, you know, of her phone being seized and then all that shit. What she would be trying to do is come off like she's empathetic fakely, you know, because that's what she would do. She wouldn't be screaming into the phone calling him a fucking pervert.
I agree with you, and I will say, before I forget, you were just emailed the drive that I'm talking about. So if you need access to it, but it sounds like you may have access to your documents, but at least it's.
I have them all. They're just, yeah. In order to show them on screen, I gotta like go to my email and it's a pain in the ass. I can't do it from the messenger from iOS on my app.
I'm new to Google Drives, but anyway, this may solve that problem for you. But it sounds like I didn't look at your poll results, but we may just end up doing a petty stream. But to what you were saying.
Well, no, if you have some notes on stuff that you think is really important that we need to discuss and go over, we should go over those first, of course.
All right. So, but by the way, before I forget though, in line with what you just said, like I relate, and I think a lot of the female audience and maybe some of the male audience relate too. I relate to Karen's behavior. Like I think what happened was completely normal, and I would have been angry. I've been in relationships with men where like I'm annoyed at something they're doing, or like, why are you going to that party? Why are you doing like? I'm not a psycho.
Ever kill anybody? You know what I mean?
Not
like,
yet. Not yet.
That's what I'm saying. Is like everybody here has fucking, you know what I'm saying? Everybody here has fucking had some meltdown with a fucking somebody they've been in a relationship with at some point and another. And if they drink, they definitely have. You know, it happens.
And the drinking in general just can it can change how someone might normally otherwise behave. Like, or if someone has a propensity to be you know, upset about this, or you're flirting with this person, or you like this woman in the neighborhood, or why are you going to that party? I really want to go home. I'm not feeling well. Alcohol, that really depends on so many factors. Then you throw health factors of her own in there. And I don't mean to speculate. Like, I just know that this isn't cookie cutter. And for the Commonwealth to try to say this is the formula. She drank, she drove, he's dead, she did it. That doesn't work. And that is kind of
and the fact that the jury was instructed to do this by the foreman. Right. And look at it just simply that way. And that's it. That's basically in so many words, him telling the jury, this is already made up. This is done. That's it. She's guilty. You know, like that's crazy.
I definitely think that, you know, once we heard from Ronnie, the juror, and even as I've heard him go on his like Ronnie tour now with others, you know, I look and I say, well, he put himself in a position now that he's kind of revealing some of the deliberative process for me to say, I now know if he is credible, if Ronnie's being credible, and I have no reason to suspect otherwise, that the prosecution did not satisfy its burden, its case. They did not prove the theory, and the jury never properly considered it. They have to show, like I said, not just those she drank, she drove, he ended up, you know, hit and died. Like, you have to connect some dots. You don't have to connect all the dots.
And at least there were jurors that were like, and including Ronnie, you know, that were like, yeah, no. You know what I'm saying? Not guilty. Sorry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And then some of them, and most notably one, got bumped because she was so visibly. I never assessed her, but she
And
apparently
she would have. By the looks of her, I got to, and by the looks of her, man, I'm telling you, she had all the makings of somebody who might have influenced the jury the way that we are criticizing Ronnie for not doing so.
Right. It's strong personalities can be a blessing and a curse on a
Right.
jury. They can. Right.
Right.
I was saying a few weeks ago, we want more alphas on the jury, but that is a blessing and a curse. If you have too many alphas, then no one's going to concede or give or bend.
What if you have an alpha who's stupid?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
a la the foreman. Yeah. Like I don't know. Yeah.
it's gotta suck. Like
You
a really strong personality that's just so stubborn, but just so fucking dumb, just a plebeian. Imagine that. You
Yeah.
know?
Yep. I agree. A stupid alpha is dangerous.
Well, I mean, that's an oxymoron. You know what I mean? Like an alpha is not going to be stupid. Like an alpha is somebody who's just got that, like just all of it together. But plebeian is just like, I mean, a stubborn, strong personality that might be enough for, because the rest of the jury could just be people that are just like, you know what? I don't want to argue with anybody and I just want to fucking go home. So yeah, okay, plebeian, addict guy, we'll do what you want.
But you know, it's interesting. Just by way and before I go on, I'm told that you should, if needed, be able to see and view and access and show that drive or the documents. Please don't show the drive, but if you need them,
Okay.
There's documents that if you need them during a stream. So that is my gift to you.
No, I don't have them. Like.
No? Well, all right, we'll figure it out at another time. But anyway,
yeah, I didn't get the email.
I know some stupid alphas. I don't correlate. Like I do know some stupid alphas, but ultimately I think we're in a position where you want people on juries who are willing to kind of keep your common sense, suspend being opinionated, listen to everything, and then make a reasonable decision and be able to be open and willing to listen to others, but don't compromise your deeply held beliefs. But that does not in any way mean that I think what this first jury did was proper. I think they, in light of all that transpired that we know of in that jury room, that should have ended in a not guilty as opposed to a mistrial. I think they were miss and underguided. What do we got there?
Or tampered with.
Yeah. That should be on a t-shirt, La. That's so funny. So anyway, I am going to stop running interface between you and my
but I seriously, like, if there's points that we need to know about that you took notes on that we haven't gone over, please, that you feel that is necessary for us to know moving forward, please share them.
Okay.
We got time, you know what I'm saying? We'll do the petty stream because I've never done one with you and I'm looking forward to that, but we're here to catch up here. So let's make sure we're caught up before then. We're just gonna put a little pedal to the metal here. That's all.
Pedal to the metal. And also if your chat like really shouts one out, like somebody let me know.
Yeah.
So pardon my dog, she'll only bark for a moment.
There we go.
What are we there we going? All right.
I got one of your assistants just emailed me.
Oh, thank you. All right. Hold on. I'm looking. Oh, thank you, Sam Poop. I do have a good puppy. I do. She's fucking huge. And as I always say, she would have barked her ass off if there was a bunch of police activity and a dead body outside and lights and possible sirens, but more notably lights, unlike another deceased dog of which we will not name this evening. All right. So
that's
we got.
why can't I find it now? Oh,
I
no.
don't know.
The moment is past.
Oh,
I was looking for my sound effect, but the moment is past. I
the
can't
moment
find
has
it.
passed. Okay.
Oh, wait, there we go.
I have a Bernadoodle.
You dropped an F-bomb like 5 years ago.
You've
and it took me
missed.
forever to find.
I've dropped like, you know
Yeah, I
what?
know.
Bang it 5 more times because I fucking dropped 5. All right. So the Commonwealth, again, the Commonwealth have filed a bunch of motions too. And somebody, I'm gonna say this, if you want a certain motion really talked about, you're gonna have to throw a super chat so it gets under my nose because we're just hopping around a little bit. And I give this invitation to any one of you. If you feel that anything that I've gone over is too high level for you and you want more granular discussion about it, just throw me a message on like my Facebook, not my personal page, my other page, which is in my X profile, or my X message me, and I'll go into it with more specificity for you. So the Commonwealth filed a bunch of motions. I think they're all bullshit. I don't know how to possibly even, maybe I'm not the right person to kind of say if there's one that I think is really notable. There's one that I think is really notable. Well, let's see. They want to, hold on. There is a defense motion that we should probably just mention, which is number 597. And in 597, that's the defense has made a motion to
Defendant's motion to impound the defendant's motion in limine to prohibit the Norfolk District Attorney and Massachusetts State Police from having juror contact. That's a big one. That's a big one.
It's really that's the I hate that they do it this way. That's actually the precursor filing before 599. They file this motion to impound parts of a motion, then they file the motion. It is completely retarded. I'm sorry. And I don't mean any offense to anyone when I use the term retarded. I grew up in the 70s and 80s in New Jersey, and that's the term we use. But anyway, it's 5.
I'm retarded?
Oh, God. Why can I not open it on my drive? Why can I not? I love it. That's right. You always play that. Was that what is that show? Is that a clip from that's Scott
Bakula.
Bakula. I was gonna say Backyard.
Bakula.
But wait, what was that show?
Quantum Leap.
Yeah, Quantum Leap.
Dr. Sam Beckett.
That's right. Oh my God. I keep forgetting.
And his hologram Al. You know what's funny? Like, there's this line that Al had, Dean Stockwell, in this other movie. I think it's called Buffalo Soldiers. It's a movie that wasn't even that good. Like,
I've seen that.
And he was like, somebody was like talking about, oh, well, my great grandfather was a general and this, and that. And then Dean Stockwell's like, I never went for that lineage shit. My theory is if you come from dirt, you fight better because you don't want to go back to the dirt. I'm like, yeah, man, exactly.
You need to get a t-shirt with that too. I keep forgetting we're the same age. Like, so we probably have a lot of similar memories watching movies and programs through the years. It's funny. I'm looking at my drive now and I don't see document number 599, but I know what it is. It's a motion to impound. It's a motion to prohibit the DA and the state police from having juror contact. So at some point, I believe I saw it.
And this, I hope they went fucking specific because they really didn't. No, they didn't. Look, because what I got here is 2 pages and the other page is just a signature.
Well, what document number are you looking at?
597, right?
Yeah. Do you have 599? Because I
Maybe.
don't have that in front of me. I apologize, everyone. Side gig. Because
590. I don't have 599.
Yeah, I may not have even posted, just so everyone understands, like if you're not a licensed attorney in Massachusetts, you're at the whim of someone else providing this to you. So like if I had access to it directly, I'd be all over this like white on rice, but I'm not. So I'm at the mercy of others. And I want to thank everybody who helps me do that. And whether that's by posting it themselves and I look and comment. But 599 is a very
Go ahead.
well, I'm
Oh,
assuming you guys can hear me.
wait. Yes, you can. Hold on a second.
You're gonna make me solo? Oh my god. Wow, it's been a long day. 599, although I don't have it in front of me and I'm not sure I ever laid eyes on it, it's a very aggressive move, proactive, so to speak, on the part of the defense, because now they are saying, well, we don't know what the court's going to do on our motion to dismiss. As you know, as you all recall, one of the things that Alan Jackson was arguing last Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever that, I guess that was Wednesday, he was arguing about Fanning's touching. I keep saying touching. It sounds so inappropriate, but him having access to or some type of oversight of the jury. So in this motion in limine, the defense is saying, no, fuck that. And remind Will to hit the swear jar. They're saying, no, we want an affirmative motion right now and a ruling that prohibits the Norfolk County DA's office and having the Massachusetts State Police from having any access whatsoever to the jury. Is it a standard motion? No, this is like elemental rules of court and the way things are done. So I was a little like, I really don't.
Right. Like it's like Yannetti filing that motion on the 2nd of February, 2022. It's just like we have to do this. And it's bizarre that we even have to do this.
Yeah. You know? Like you almost feel like, am I insulting somebody by having to file such a stupid, like commonsensical motion? But at this point, you do. In fact, I was surprised that there may not have even been more of those commonsensical motions filed, just to make sure that this is not left up to chance, because who the heck knows what Judge Bev decides on a given day, or let alone at sidebars. So, this motion probably has some, because it looks like they impounded part of it. So there's arguments in it or factual assertions in it that will talk about Fanning and what Fanning did and or others, which we just don't have access to. So the defense is really coming out swinging and saying, no, we're not going to allow that. If the judge does not grant this motion, let your alarm level escalate one notch higher. I mean, you want more evidence, like
right. Yeah, like that would be one of the shadiest things that takes place in this whole case. Is if that motion is not granted.
Yeah, like how the other day with Crosby's motion, like the allowing Crosby to testify, the fact that
without even a void year, without even a hearing, like that's crazy.
Now, I agree. Well, one of the things I didn't see, hold on. All right. So it might have been at the end, because towards the end of the day when I was looking through these,
okay.
I said, I want to make sure that I hit all of them for you, for your viewers. And
do it.
Truth be told, I kind of ran out of time because I had to work out. Got to put your health first, folks. Got to put your health first.
Always.
Good for your mental health.
I had such a good workout today, dude.
Did you?
Fuck yeah, man. She was great.
So
I took my time. Yeah. And it was such a beautiful day too.
I'm so happy. It was pretty nice where I live too. One of the motions that I didn't see, if it's worth talking about, I did not see a motion to get like an in limine ruling on allowing ARCA, specifically Dr. Rentschler, to give his opinions on causation, cause of injury. You know, I was talking about that.
Oh,
So I know that,
but there was a motion. There was a motion to be able to mention, or was there a motion from the Commonwealth to try to block it again from the jury, try to block the jury from knowing that the feds hired them?
Yeah, there's one of those, but you know,
Okay.
and I know you treat your streams probably as individual programs. So to the extent that we've become fast friends and like this is a rolling discussion and you know, we talk about things and yeah, we hit that already on a different day. The other day on a different stream, we were talking about the fact that I think now that she's awarded.
Yes, thank you. Sorry, she was asking if I got it. Yeah, I got it. I thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate it.
Thanks for that. But you know, I know the other day I was saying now that Judge Bev has allowed Crosby to give, I think it's Crosby, to give opinions on these dog bites, that should open the door for Rentschler to give opinions as well.
Agreed.
Because he's not a medical doctor, but if you're going to use the same rationale, and I don't see that here. I was a little
That's a
surprised.
great point. That's a great point.
Now,
like,
do they have to file an in limine motion to do that? No. There's something called law of the case. So, you know, Rentschler, when I'm assuming Arca is going to testify, when Arca testifies, and it's Doctors Wolf and Rentschler, the crash daddies, when Rentschler testifies, you know, AJ or Alessi, they're going to ask questions and they're going to ask him that type of question. Like, what do you think caused these injuries? Or did a vehicle cause these injuries, etc.?
Right. And in your opinion, did the right.
Right. And you could probably forecast, although I don't know Spanky well enough, he's probably going to say objection. And Bev will probably say sustained. But the point is that will result then.
He's going to object to everything. God, I should prepare myself for that now.
Me too.
He's going to object for everything.
I'm going to get PTSD from that shit. I just can't.
Yeah.
And you know what? There's something more palatable in hearing Lally say objection than what I know is coming from Spanky. Like it's gonna haunt my dreams. Like
immediately you're like already, like, yeah.
My earphone, whatever they are, just blew my fucking my ears off. But yeah, I need to not think about that. But they'll end up in a sidebar, and who the hell knows what happens in that nether world? Because you know some of the decisions that I can only conclude, like I'm presuming she made based on when they came out of the sidebars last time. I'm saying, why would that not be admissible? So basically, they don't have to file an in limine motion to permit other non-medical doctors to offer causation opinions. I was surprised that they didn't, because as I said at the outset of your show, it cleans things up beforehand. So anyway, what do we got? All right. Commonwealth filed a whole bunch of motions. 17 specifically. It's really 16 if you consider it, but it's let's say it's 17. And they want to admit photographs that were observed by medical providers from the autopsy. That's a standard one. I mean, you know, that can be very prejudicial to a defendant, because why should the jury have to see these kind of unsavory pictures? But that's a standard in limine motion. They filed.
I've seen that in other cases too.
Yeah,
where they're just, you know, they want the jury. They don't want to prejudice the jury with photographs that make them emotionally affected.
Yeah, and in most trials, the defense is just going to concede. Yeah, he died. Like, we don't need to see the picture of him being dissected or examined. Like, we will concede.
Right,
he's dead.
Right.
So,
like, you need to, the jury needs to see the injuries, but they don't need to see because when there's an expert explaining the injuries and what could cause the injuries and whatnot, like the injury to the back of the head, how it could have caused the black eyes. You know, it helps for that expert to have visual aid to explain to the jury. That's not morbid, or you know what I mean? So, but to sit there and just show pictures of, like you're saying, like an autopsy of, you know, that's just not necessary.
I think it's prejudicial and it's overkill.
Right.
Honestly, I think it's upsetting to the family too. But as I was saying on a recent stream with you, the setup in there is so bizarre. Like the family can't even see the screen. So in general, it's not even pleasant for a family to have to see autopsy photographs. However, these types of motions are routinely granted, even in instances where the defense will concede, hey, he died, we don't need to get these into evidence. So that'll be granted. They filed to preclude, which is to prevent reference to and to redact the manner of death contained on the death certificate. Now, that was one that was of interest. So, excuse me. What number was that? 579. So in 579. Yeah, I saw a lot of chatter about this. All right. So if you this motion, and by the way, their motions, which are triple signed by all three attorneys. Like, okay. I keep taking issue with that. Like, there's instances where that's appropriate and there's instances where it's not. So, I mean, this isn't that improper. It's not. But when they're signing affidavits, it is.
I think it's fair that you're kind of a stickler about certain things too, where it's just like the problem. No, it is a compliment. It's just you're really like crossing your T, dot your I's kind of person, and so you're like, I would have done it this way, but you know, I guess that flies.
No,
you know.
First of all, you're 100% right, and you should take a little shot at me first. But second,
I wasn't trying to take a shot. I'm saying like that's a good thing.
But second, where is I'm trying to look for my chapstick and I can't find it. But anyway, second, I'm actually not being meticulous when I say that.
Okay.
In some instances that matter, like what happened to logs and metadata, and I got, it was in this guy's iCloud, and then it was in this detective file. Like on those types of submissions to the court, which we're not talking about right now, that has to be signed by the attorney who's presenting these fucked up facts. So, when you have something like that triple signed, and even Alan Jackson kind of chuckled about it in court the other day. He's like, well, I got, you judge, you chastised us the other day because, we all need to be knowing what the other's doing. And if someone signs something, the rest of us are bound by it. So he kind of got snarky with her, which, I enjoyed every moment of it in person. But at the same time, on a stupid motion like this or simple motion, it's okay. But they're going to just triple sign everything. Why? Because they have plausible deniability on things in the future. So anyway, on motion number 579. Oh, wait. What do you got there, Laurleen? Proctor's third hearing is tomorrow. Is it really?
Yeah, that's why I wanted to highlight that, because she's saying if she wouldn't be surprised if a decision to put him off until the trial ends. But I mean, I would be a little surprised at that, because that seems a little too just obvious that they're doing shady shit, but so I would be surprised in that sense. But other than that, then, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at them doing shady shit, so.
It's interesting. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, like you said, but I think it's going to go forward. Once administrative processes are in motion, they typically roll. And there's another, and I don't know the name of the entity, but whatever that higher level agency that's actually conducting his hearing, like they're notorious for once they commence the process, it moves forward. So while it started after 1.0, I thought that was a delay. He should have been immediately brought into, an administrative hearing process. But now that it's started, they've got to convene so many people. I think it's going to go forward. I did not realize, though, it was tomorrow. So if anyone gets any information on that,
yeah, we'll definitely be looking at what's going on tomorrow in real time and just following that on Twitter for sure. I mean, I'm not saying I'll be live during that, but yeah, we'll definitely be following that.
And that's great. So as far as motion 579 is concerned, to preclude or prevent reference to and to redact the manner of death from the death certificate for the jury, because it will confuse them.
Now, yeah, that's how is the manner of death in a murder trial supposed to confuse the jury exactly?
Yeah, it's
explain that to me.
Well, it doesn't. I mean, the jury needs to know what, and I think we all
what
understand.
The ME concluded.
Yeah,
even if if the ME failed to conclude anything, which undetermined is what that indicates to me, then if that's the case, the jury needs to hear that.
They do. And what people don't realize in this little shitty 2-page, I mean, it's 1 page with a signature. Like, you want to talk about the Commonwealth half-assing their motions. That makes me laugh so hard. I love it. But anyway, with respect to these motions, like I don't want to curse again in short succession, but they really have not put a lot of effort into them. So I imagine they're not going to put a lot of effort into their opposition. So stay tuned until Friday when they come rolling in. And if anything gets posted, anyone wants to, feel free to tag me. I'm Lothario. I love it. But anyway,
it's going to be an interesting weekend.
Yeah, I'm really glad I'm not going to be in DC for it, so I can actually read through this stuff. So this manner of death is undetermined. And if we all recall, Squirty Bello was like, I can't determine the manner of death. So at this point, that has to go to a jury. I'm interested to see what Judge Bev will do, but she hopefully will do the right thing, which is to deny this motion. But that's an important one. I wanted to mention that to you. That is an
important one.
Is someone keeping tabs on the swear jar? Do we even have a running tally, or no? Are you just poking fun at me?
Yeah, we're just, I mean, I'm not poking fun at you, but yeah, it's just just hitting the fucking thing for whatever.
You know what? Let's kick this up a notch.
Let's do it. Yeah.
If anyone wants to throw a super chat, I will 50% match it to the Karen Reed Fund, and I will 50% match it to the Turtle Boy Fund.
Ooh, you don't have to do that.
That's okay. We'll do it.
No.
We're gonna do it. So if anyone wants to throw, but I'm no promises that I'm gonna get to your questions. So that's
okay.
The deal.
Yeah, last time we tried that was
So you don't get a guarantee. You get my attention. You might, but I'll 50%. I'll split it 50% to Karen and to Aiden. All right. So
there you have it, folks. The notorious Nan Gallagher being notorious again.
To a fault, apparently.
No.
All right. So what do we got?
Donna Rash.
Woohoo. All right. So now,
and it's also she's only going to match she's not going to match the 30% that YouTube takes either.
I didn't say that.
I'm saying it, man. That's crazy.
We'll see.
It's too much. All right, whatever.
We'll see.
I can't stop you from doing whatever the fuck you're going to do.
That's right. All right. So in other motions that they filed, some of these are just boring and irrelevant for your audience, but they filed a motion And you don't need to call it up, but if anyone wants to see it, it's motion 582. It's a motion for offer of proof prior to defendant calling or summonsing, which should say summoning, the Norfolk District Attorney and victim witness advocate as witnesses. So
Ooh.
yeah, so that's number 5-8.
Yeah, because I call bullshit on that. Oh, look, thanks, Nan. Thank you, Christine.
Oh, thank you.
I call bullshit on the report from that victim's advocate. I call bullshit.
What is what report are we talking about? I'm sorry, it's been a long day.
The one where they said that they spoke with one of John O'Keefe's nieces or nephews.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't even mesh with the vibe of how they describe the testimonies. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's a good point. But I also have a sneaking suspicion. I'm dealing with literally two different computers right now, so I apologize if I seem a little bit distracted. But I have a sneaking suspicion that there's something significant out there with regard to the victims advocates. I think his name is Nelson. I think there's something there.
I think so too.
I
think so too.
I'm not one to conjure up speculation or drama, but in my mind, I've heard his name buzzed about in different circles enough for me to say, there's something there. So I think this motion number 582 filed by the Commonwealth is a classic. We want to see what you got on our district attorney and what you got on Nelson before you call them as witnesses. And
right.
That tells me, that's in line with Judge Bev's prior ruling, which is that you have to disclose impeachment evidence before you question on cross-examination. But if Nelson and Morrissey were on the witness list, and folks, I'd be lying if I remember all the witnesses that were disclosed on the filed witness list. But if they were, this is the Commonwealth saying, we want an offer of proof. What are you going to ask them about? Which is absolute and utter bullshit as far as I'm concerned. Because when we talk about these types of trials, what has been done here, this is gamesmanship. What good attorneys should do is not require an offer of proof. That the Commonwealth should say, oh shit, all right, well, they're going to question Morrissey, or they're going to question Nelson, and we'll do our best to ethically and honorably prepare them. But this whole an offer of proof to find out ahead of time what they're going to be asked about, it runs against my grain. It's the only way I can explain it to you. But it tells me they're afraid. Just like if you recall when the federal investigation, and Will, please don't take this one down.
Yeah, I don't want to. And Christy Sanders, I know you're passing. Appreciate what you're doing. Thank you so much. But we just got to keep this one up. What's up, Kelly? Good to see you. This is off topic regarding Turtle Boy. Can federal charges be brought against Chris Albert since wiretapping is also a federal offense? Thanks, OnlyNan and Glarer. Got my own name wrong.
Wow. So I have to give a limited answer to this because I know the answer, but I have to give a limited answer to this.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you for your donation.
Limited enough. All right.
I hope Kelly and your audience understands why I have to give a limited answer.
Well, if they don't, well, they're just going to have to deal. Oh, wow. Not that Dana. Man, my question, what's your drink of choice? Went out with hooligans like William and Aiden. What was your drink? Yeah, what was your drink of choice? Thank you, not that Dana.
So I had at and I think Dina, you were listening when I said I had one drink out that there, and I also had one drink out at with dinner with Mark Betterow and Will. When I was at CF McCarthy's, I had a delicious glass of sangria, which they accommodated me because I hate those fucking cups that tip all over and, you're talking to people and spilling shit everywhere. The same thing happens with martinis, which I also I don't want to spill my drink. And I'm not much of a drinker and
Right.
certainly not a sloppy drinker.
Right.
So
I can be.
Had a delicious sangria in like a regular, whatever you call it, the medium little glass. There's a tumbler, I think it's called, with a little bit of sugar and not salt around it, which was to CF McCarthy's, that your French fries and your short rib grilled cheese, mwah, delicious. That was like also some of the only sugar that I've had in a really fucking long time.
Place is good, man.
And then when I went to Smith and Walensky, I had a something in lavender.
Bro, there's a reason why their steaks are priced the way they are, because I gotta tell you, 2 out of 2. Second time I ate there, second time I ordered a steak, specifically how I wanted it, and they gave it to me perfect.
That is,
and I mean perfect on the outside, on the inside, exactly how I wanted it cooked, and it tasted amazing.
That was exactly, just so you all know, exactly what he said. Once you cut into it, and I believe you had a bite of it, you were like, they did this perfectly. And it did. Your steak looked fantastic. Dina, I can't remember the one drink I had out at Smith and Walensky, but I'll check their menu and I'll message you. But it was delicious as well. And then the rest of the time I drink ginger ale or Diet Pepsi. All right. Angie's wave. Now I feel bad because there's probably other motions. So I'm going to ride your vibe.
Oh, yeah. This is you're doing. You did this shit.
Oh, well, I did it, but I wanted to make things a little bit more. I wanted to up the ante for your audience.
Okay.
Suck.
No, yeah.
All right. You want to read this one to me, or are you going to make me read it?
So I have a snarky question. Can Brennan be part of a RICO situation? Sincerely, he is being paid and moving forward with this trial. If knowing, acting unethically, knowing specific behind closed door information. Well, I'll start off with the answer to this, and then I'll let you take over.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going on behind closed doors. So there's no way to actually incorporate that part of your question into this scenario because we have no idea what's going on behind closed doors.
Right.
And RICO that's a you part. The RICO situation, he's being paid moving forward this trial. So can he be charged with a crime if he's knowingly acting unethically by moving forward with this trial, with this prosecution?
Yeah, I mean, the answer is we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. The answer is yes, and RICO could apply. That's a federal offense that the federal government likes to really nab a lot of conspiracies and enterprises, like where there's a lot of people working together to circumvent the law and to, just commit crimes. But in this case, the most I see right now is if there were legitimate problems with Brennan as of right now, I think he's got would have more of an ethics related issue unless I knew more.
Yeah, it seems like more of a bar reprimandation or reprimand. That's reprimandation. It's a word because I just said it. It seems like more of a bar thing than like, a criminal thing.
We'd need to know. Yeah, we'd need to know more. Like,
did he take bribes or something? Like, that's different, but we don't know anything like that. So
yeah, so we kind of have to reserve decision on that until more is known. Are you okay? Am I looking at motions or am I looking at super chats?
You're looking at motions.
All right. So there were a couple more that are worth mentioning to your audience. Obviously it's worth all of you taking a look at the docket and saying, hey, I want more information about this. But they've also filed motions that are kind of pro forma, like I was talking about before, to use chalks and demonstratives with witnesses when eliciting testimony from them. They want to also allow the expert celebrate demonstration, which I believe was something that was done similarly when Ian Whiffen testified. While I think Ian Whiffen is completely full of shit,
He's completely full of shit.
He is, and I think that the law enforcement completely undermined itself in every other case by now pointing out critical
both
deficiencies.
of the Commonwealth's experts involving Jennifer McCabe's phone are full of shit. Not to mention, of course, Crosby now being one of the Commonwealth's experts and being full of shit. So this is just mind-blowing to me that this is even going on. What's up, baby boy?
Oh, hi, Clever. Yeah, so I feel like if there's a demonstrative or a chalk or some type of experiment, for lack of a better word, that celebrate is Ian Whiffen and or Jessica Hyde are going to do before the jury, that's what Brennan's asking for. It really depends on what they are going to present in front of the jury. And I don't know, by looking at like these filings, if what they're looking to present to a jury is submitted to the court under seal or, directly to the judge's chambers, you're not going to see those chalks, demonstratives, quote, experiments or anything like that on a public docket. So, Bev's going to allow it. And if this type of demonstration is in any way misleading, confusing, prejudicial to Karen, then welcome to Norfolk County and God save Massachusetts. So, but they filed that. And then I'm kind of tearing through towards the end here, Will, so you can, but they also wanted to admit results of the blood draw at the hospital, which then allowed the serum conversion, which then led to the retrograde extrapolation. Like they want to be able to say she was drunk because, as we said before, this very specious method of trying to look back and do numbers, which are not reliable for all the reasons we discussed previously. The Commonwealth also wants to prevent any reference to bad character or prior misconduct of the victim or any witness. That one might be good to look at. That's number 587.
Yeah, like any witness. I'm sorry, but why can't you discredit a witness? Isn't that part of a strategic defense, is to discredit a Commonwealth witness?
Yeah, and also,
and how you do that is to show that, okay, well, dude fucking killed a guy.
And it's
the other one says that he didn't he's never been in a fight, but I got fucking 3 different videos of him fighting, thanks to Turtle Boy. I mean, come on. Like, it could go on and on.
Yeah, and I mean, what they're trying to do in this motion is basically say that the court, and this one is one to watch. This is number 587. In this motion, the Commonwealth, again, trying to kneecap Karen's defense, which is really her third. Oh, hi, Mimi. How are you?
Mimi. What's up, Mimi?
We're trying to kneecap the Karen's defense. In this instance, this is a classic example of the Commonwealth is not allowing her to robustly advance a third-party culprit defense. So, in a nutshell, she should be able to say that there are bad acts, bad of Higgins, Jen McCabe, all of the McAlberts, of
just
Proctor.
To put what you're saying here in a nutshell real quick. What she's saying here, people, is that this will essentially have the potential to disable the defense's entire third-party culprit defense.
Yes. But also, I want to just double check myself, because there's another motion, which we'll hop on it in a moment, but it's number 589. And in 589, the Commonwealth wants to preclude, which means to prevent Karen from raising a third party culprit defense. Now,
What?
yeah. So, I mean, we can hop on that. I'm going to hop off 587 right now. But ultimately, just while I close the loop on that, Will, remember
Okay.
I told your audience towards the beginning of your show, hey, normally evidence of bad conduct or bad acts, bad character normally doesn't come into evidence. But one of
Right.
the primary examples of an exception to that is for impeachment. So an exception to bad conduct or bad prior acts coming in to evidence is impeachment. And Karen's team, who are so skilled, they're going to shred these witnesses. And by the way,
Right.
for any friends and or family of Karen, I feel like when I curse a lot on these streams, I always feel like I need to apologize to people. I curse like a sailor, and you know what? That's who I am. I'm still a fucking great lawyer. Anyway, making Benjamins tonight. All right, so they're gonna want to impeach these witnesses with their bad character, but more importantly, Will, please go to 589 because motion 589 is the motion to preclude or prevent a defendant from raising a third party culprit defense. And I just want to give a shout out to my new assistant. You are the bomb. You are the bomb.
The bomb. Keep up the great work.
This is so easy for me. Like, you've made this so easy for me, which helps
This
me.
is fantastic.
Wow. It helps me help Will or other creators. It's helping me help.
Oh yeah, it helps the
audience.
fuck out of me. Thank you so much.
Do you just swore? Do you have to throw in the
I
swear jar or what?
No, I've been doing this for too goddamn long.
So
No.
here's something I will
Rules for thee, not for me.
So here's something I will tell your audience. This is the longest. It might not be the, but I believe it is. It's the longest motion filed by the Commonwealth. What does that tell you? And by far the longest. The other ones are like a page and a half. This one,
yeah, this is just straight up like a motion to prevent them from raising a third party culprit defense.
Yeah,
like that is insane.
So it's only like 6 pages.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Before we continue, Nan, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't the defense have the right to present whatever fucking defense they want?
They do. And I know Betterow feels the same because he was talking about it when I was following all of you guys leading up to 1.0. They can advance defendant can advance a third party culprit defense. Is it a completely unlimited right? No, there's some curtailment to it, which I won't bore you about. But most notably is the fact that a defendant is allowed to say it wasn't me and it was someone else. It kind of, it needs to not be blurry or nebulous. If you're going to advance a third party culprit defense, it has to be as specific as you can make it. In this instance, and now having gone through what led up to 1.0, and now what goes through having gone through 1.0, I am comfortable telling you and your audience and anyone else who watches on replay that what she has set forth and uncovered through her team, through investigators, really through a lot of Aidan Carney's like viciously honorable reporting that he's done in journalism, all that has been uncovered on this is
very, very aggressively accurate.
Yeah, and it's sufficient enough for me to say this is a robust third-party culprit defense.
Agreed.
But keep in mind, no one, including Karen and her team, no one knows exactly what happened. So what the what the Commonwealth is getting at right now is, well, they don't even know. Like, you can't just tell a jury it was this or it was a dog.
Right. There was that issue. Yeah. See, there was that issue in the last trial.
Yes.
But I think that Lally was just poor at arguing it. So there's probably a better chance of Brennan arguing it this time and getting somewhere, which is scary. But I get it. I do get that whole part. It's like, okay, third party culprit, but who's the culprit? You don't know who the culprit is. You can't name the culprit.
Yeah, and there's a body of case law that kind of talks about that in the Commonwealth, that you have to identify who it was. So it's not what I would call settled law. There's room for this case law to bend and contract and expand. I do believe, and that's probably not the right word. It is my opinion that Bev made the right decision to allow all of the evidence of third-party culprit in for 1.0. I'm surprised that she did that because of how fucking biased she is, most notably now.
Right.
So, like, I think her bias is actually aggrandized over the last year.
It's so weird. It's really hard to get a beat on her.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's hard for you content creators. It's hard for someone like me.
And that's a metaphor, people. It's just, yeah, okay. I didn't mean that shit fucking literally.
So, if you recall, and I want to just spend a moment on this because this is probably one of the most significant motions that was filed, and he threw all but 6 pages into it. If you recall, leading up to 1.0, it was kind of uncertain coming out of the eliminate motion arguments as to what Bev was going to actually allow with regard to third-party culprit. Now, people like Olivia, who I don't know if she's on, or others who are on right now, probably remember with more specificity than I do. But when I left that, watching that motion argument on the third-party culprit, I was left with a feeling like, well, what the fuck is she gonna let them say it? It was more of a, we'll deal with it on a question by question basis. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But she even at one point pressed, I don't know if it was Yannetti or Jackson, as to like, well, what are you going to say? Who are you going to say did this? And they were like, we don't have to tell you. Why do we have to tell the court or the Commonwealth what our strategy is?
Right.
That, and it wasn't that far before the trial, but, why are you giving the Commonwealth a heads up? Because no matter what you say, Will, I still think that Hank Brennan is a fucking idiot. But why are you going to give him that learning curve? So she is in a position where she could change her mind as to her prior ruling, which was law of the case, but this is a different trial. I want to see the opposition that is filed.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm here for that because I agree with you wholeheartly. And that's what happened in 1.0, like you said, that their whole thing was just like, we have the right to, why do we have to disclose our strategy?
And it's that disclosing of strategy, Will, kind of goes in line with what they were trying, the defense was trying to argue a couple weeks ago, and Bev denied the application. Like, she's making them hand over impeachment evidence beforehand. So what does it do? Strategically, she's making, and it's within her discretion. I want to be very clear. It's just biased. Within her discretion, she's making the defense and the Commonwealth like hand over impeachment evidence before the witness gets on the stand. Like, it's got to be, I assume it's been handed over by now. So you lose the element of ambush, surprise, aha moment. And that is a significant handicap to a lawyer who wants to try to, land some punches. I'm very, very comfortable and comfortable with and good at landing punches at trial. I don't mean that to be arrogant. I mean that to just
Oh, man, I get it.
Let you guys know, like, it's a useful tool. And sometimes when I don't have all of the law on my side or all of the facts on my side, depending on the case, I need to land punches. And I don't want Judge Bev to I don't want her to grant the Commonwealth's motion. If she removes a third-party culprit defense avenue as an available option for Karen to pursue, I'm going to lose my shit. Like, I haven't lost it yet. I've been damn close. I'm going to lose my shit. You can count that as one shit, like not two shits. So coming towards the end, as I told you guys before, of these motions, the defense hit them with a bunch of, what did you call it? Corned beef hash. And then the Commonwealth filed all of theirs and blew their load. And then the defense hit them back with some more. So
that counts. That counts. It counts. That totally counts.
You know what's funny? Now that I've had a chance to actually meet Will in person and hang out with him, like, I think the laughing is only going to increase on the streams, as opposed to just it's now not once removed. Like, I've known him. So any other motions for the Commonwealth to be concerned with? Not really. If I'm missing any, somebody criticize me on Twitter. Maybe that guy.
Well, that's a big deal. Is that motion this motion right here to try to exclude the entire third party culprit defense is just fucking bold. So yeah, you got my attention there. I'm really, really interested in that opposition motion. We should have you back up when it comes out.
Yeah, whenever you ask is fine by me. But people should keep an eye out. I believe the deadline is, I believe it's Friday. If I'm wrong on that, somebody correct me in the chat. By the way, you know what's funny? After your streams, I always make a point of, at some point, rewatching just the stream. Like, I will read the chat. I want to see the chat in case I miss someone's comment, and I try to reach out to people if
I do that sometimes.
I don't watch us. I just go and look at the chat.
Yeah.
Make sure that they had a good viewing experience. And then I can tell the haters to go fuck off. So as far as the defense is concerned, there's some last, additional motions that were filed. They want to the defense wants to exclude false and irrelevant statements of Michael Proctor. What the hell? I don't even know if I saw that one. Hold on.
Yeah, Piney Woods called in here ranting and raving about this right here. Bev needs to have an evidentiary hearing on the Fanning Juror mess. I'm furious that we're not having one. Right. Agreed.
Yeah, I heard you did, Piney, and you're absolutely right, but you did it with a Southern drawl, which I really loved.
Well, yeah, Piney's a retired attorney herself.
Yeah, I remember that. And there needs to be one. Like, and the fact that the judge hasn't ordered one yet is so disturbing to me, because not only the Fanning issue, but the production or late production or lack of production of the videos and the logs, etc. This is a no-brainer. Like, there needs to either be a dismissal or there needs to be a hearing, a plenary hearing, for there to be a full, as Alan Jackson would say, a full-throated investigation with witnesses as to what happened. And when you think about it,
that counts.
Bev flipped out with grave concerns, made parties come back again a week later over the one issue. She made Marie Russell come twice from California for a Daubert hearing, yet Crosby some dog whisperer who has no medical experience, suddenly he's an expert. He doesn't have to be daubered, have a daubered hearing and get really essentially voir dired by Alessi. So that didn't have to happen. But you can't hold an evidentiary hearing or haven't yet decided to hold one. It's really obvious. That's why the lawsuit.
Yeah, like just the fact that Bev, again, I've stated this point before, like a lot of this stuff is just moot. We're just going over details, but the bottom line is like the foundation of my opinions, one of the bricks in the foundation of my opinions is that the fact that Bev isn't doing what I've literally seen every other judge do, which is put a stop to this shit. Like the fact that Bev is allowing this to go on, I can't think of one judge that would have seen the prosecution doing what they're doing and going, okay, it seems like what you're just trying to do here is disable the defense. And I hope that's not what you're trying to do here, because that's completely unethical. And I'm not going to allow this to go on. But Bev is just like not only letting it happen, but she's enabling it.
I totally agree. And, it's enabling is the right term, because they're just going to just be emboldened to do it. And the same thing happened with Lally, where Lally just, didn't even know half the time why he was objecting, but he realized like she was picking up what he was putting down. So if he didn't like something that was asked, he'd just say objection. And she wasn't going to make him formulate a reason. And she had his back. In fact, she suggested objections to him.
Yeah.
So now it's coming to my attention that motion 574 was allowed. I got to hop back to 574 because I don't know if I have. Did I look at that? So that's the.
No, I exited out of there, I think.
That's
Hold
okay.
on. No.
Motion
Wait.
to.
I got it.
No, is it 57?
57. No, 574 is missing.
Yeah, hold on.
574 is missing. I don't have 574.
Defendant's motion in limine to exclude witnesses' prior criminal history allowed by Cannoni. What the hell motion is that?
Defendant's prior criminal history?
No, defense motion in limine to exclude witnesses' prior criminal history. Hold on. No.
Why would the defense do that? Yeah, that can't be right. Why would the defense do that?
Everybody show some grace to me. Because I don't have a channel and I don't read these line by line like some of the other streamers. As far as that, I believe that was the decision of the court. Judge Bev did the right thing, and she determined that Richard Green's prior criminal history
would be excluded.
Yes.
Got it.
So sorry to sound the alarm, but he had like a run-in with the law, which the trolls ran with, like marijuana over the border. And so she's not going to allow that in.
Good. So it doesn't even matter. So the trolls can shut the fuck up about it. I just got word that Young Jerk stream with LTL and Nurse Kim and Auntie Deb, they raised over $5,000 for the defense for Turtle Boy and Karen Reed.
Oh my God.
Yes, wow. yes.
That's give them. So great.
Let's give them. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Does anyone know if they were splitting up between the two, or is it 50?
Yeah, or at least that's what I saw is that they were splitting. Yeah, it was a fundraiser for Turtle Boy and Karen Reed, as I understand it.
That's great. I'm so happy. Like everybody just keeps showing up. And what do we got? 5,000. By the way, Auntie Deb, I absolutely loved being on your stream. I loved it. I loved
Auntie Deb is awesome.
All right. So now that I'm withered and nearing the end, the defense they filed a few more motions. They want to.
You're now nearing the end
of the motions.
Okay. I know you said that. Like, no, just go. So, just.
You asked me to fucking go over these.
I'm glad you are. I'm glad you are, for real. We all are.
Let me check. Let me just check something real quick. Hold on a second. All right. Yeah. All right. Your viewership is up since I've been nearing the end. So I will teach you boring topics with a smile. All right. You know what? I'm going to just bag it. If anybody else wants me to talk about any other motions that you think I haven't covered.
That counts. That counts.
What are you doing?
So there we go. Bag it. That counts.
Oh my God. All right.
I'm in such a punchy, silly mood. Like, I'm exhausted.
I am too.
So, like, I'm just like, yeah, everything is fucking right now. But it's great because we're actually going through a lot. We're actually getting through a lot.
Look, there's one of the reasons I love all the content creators is because they all serve a different purpose, you know, and I gravitate towards all of them. And I've gone through their different styles and their different techniques. So I gave you some high level coverage here and told you the ones to watch.
Fantastic coverage. Are you kidding?
Yeah. But, you know, I like to talk shit about people.
The fucking cliff notes. You just gave us all the cliff notes, man.
I gave you enough to get a C, and C's equal degrees.
That's all I need, bro. That's all I need.
Oh my God. So, any super chats that you need me to address, Will, or you want a petty stream?
None. Yeah, we're gonna do the petty stream now. We're gonna get through that shit.
Good.
Hold on a second here. Let me pull that shit up.
Oh, someone posted. There you go. What about the Commonwealth requesting that speaking objections be allowed this time? Well, I mean, I hope that they are allowed. My feeling on that, I don't think there's been any more rulings, meaning rulings on these motions preliminarily, because there hasn't been opposition yet. But if there's going to be, the defense, I think your question, Laleen, said that the Commonwealth asked for that, but the defendants filed to allow counsel to state objections to promote judicial economy. That's filing 595. That is so important. So just to reiterate to everybody, it's very common to say objection foundation, objection hearsay. The fact that Bev doesn't allow that is just absolutely ludicrous. And
that's so crazy. Yeah, like what the fuck? The Goodmans gifted a membership. Thank you so much. All right, so this is the fuck around and find out lady that SD drove off Twitter apparently.
SD, let me put on my FAFO glasses for this one. Okay, there we go.
And anytime you want me to pause, when you want to chime in, just tell me to pause it.
All right.
Yes, again, as always, is our legal analyst of the Karen Reed trial, Catherine Loftus. And today we're talking about motions in limine, a lot of them.
Lots of motions in limine.
Let's start with motions in limine, a very legal term. What is it?
The easiest way possible is it kind of clears up the issues of confusion before we go to trial. So we don't have to worry about in the middle of trial an objection or a question.
Wait a second. Tracy Walker gifted 50 memberships, people. Holy cow.
Wow.
Amazing.
That's
amazing.
Really great.
You're gonna like amazing. Yes. Hold on, let me get rid of that. Wild
question, and the judge decided it. Then these are issues that both the defense and the Commonwealth has the ability to raise, that they think this is likely to be a point of contention. We don't know if we are going to be able to ask these kinds of questions. So let's inquire of the court prior to the trial starting so that we can sort of clear the plate of these issues.
So is it kind of fair to say it's like setting some of the ground rules ahead of the trial?
It is, because it really what happens in motions in limine is sometimes they can be allowed as a matter of course, sometimes they can be.
I have a really important question to ask about this.
Okay.
Is there a reason why the FAFO lady is dressed like Olive Oil from Popeye? or like the farmer's wife from that famous painting, or maybe something,
Another one.
you know, a Mormon, or what do you call no. It's not a Mormon. It's the people, you know, the group of people, Amish people.
Amish, yeah.
That's it. And I mean, no offense, but that is their traditional garb. So
Yeah.
sorry.
She looks like Wednesday Addams.
That's another one. Yeah. Or the daughter from Hotel Transylvania. I'm sorry.
Look at amazing. Man kicked off the pettiness. I love it.
Be allowed in part, denied in part. The court can specify as to what kinds of questioning the lawyers can ask. So it really sort of parses down the issues to make everything in sort of the goal of judicial economy to move faster.
Makes sense. Okay, before I get into the actual motions in limine, I have to ask you about this term because I don't know what it is. There are two different motions about chalk.
So a chalk is basically a demonstrative. I don't know why we use these weird words in the law, but they're always, it's either legalese or words that don't really make any sense. I mean, really what it used to be is that you would have a chalkboard in the court before we had whiteboards and before we had Elmo machines, which is generally what we saw when the exhibits were pulled up or anything like that. We saw it on the big TV. But what chalks usually are essentially big poster boards with data, timelines, whatever.
I want to know why they're treating their audience like fucking idiots, dude. Because like I already like we got it. You know, like I've never heard the term before, but as soon as it was used in context, I was like, okay, got it. You know, I don't need the fucking FAFO lady to fucking explain that it's just a term, like a blue screen. Like it's not necessarily fucking blue, is it? It's green.
Well,
you know, like,
you know, it's interesting.
Got it.
Maybe I treated your audience like an idiot too, because I said the same thing, but
well, but you stuck to what was fucking important. Like they're trying to squeeze in all of this shit in 28 minutes, and you know, it's let's give it this whole explanation so I sound smart and I can explain that chalk, it's not literally chalk, it's whiteboards and things of that nature. Like, yeah, we got it, we know, dude. Like, okay, yeah, where they fucking display for the
I agree. And by the way, you were like absolutely mean on the pause with her. Looks like she's kissing Lally or Brennan's ass. Keep play along or play through
whatever relevant information that the attorneys want to use through the witness to show the jury, simplify it down. And sometimes, you know, a lot of us are visual learners, so that's what they do. They're basically visual aids to support what the testimony is.
Okay, makes sense.
Thank you.
Of sorts. That's correct.
Okay, I'll get into the things that we had said we would talk about now. And just so our viewers who are watching this know, there's more than a dozen motions. Some of them from both the prosecution and the defense are two sides of the same issue. So we'll try and go through some of the main ones. I want to start with ARCA. We've talked a lot about ARCA anyway. There are still unresolved issues. Like the judge has still not decided on.
Say what?
I'm sorry. I'm not used to interrupting streams, but
no, you're good.
She's saying, "Oh, there's more than a dozen. There's 3 dozen. This is a colossal fuck ton of in limine motions. Like I think she needs to understand the gravity of it. But anyway, go ahead."
On the whole allegation of Alan Jackson making misrepresentations to her. But there's multiple motions in here about ARCA. The Commonwealth wants to be able to tell jurors that the defense paid these guys. And then the defense wants to be able to tell not only not say we paid them, but also tell jurors that the feds hired them.
Right. It's a little bit complicated. I think given that, so the initial.
Why is Christina Rex saying that like it's some sort of ridiculous thing? Like it's so silly that the defense actually wants the jury to know that the feds hired them and not them. Like what?
I agree.
How kooky.
And
how kooky is that?
And when I hear that, I'm like, I've lost all faith in her reporting in totality at this point. I know people kind of are, some people like her, some people are on the fence. These are my opinions. But when you talk about that, like the jury should absolutely know that the feds engaged.
Of course.
It's all about not hiding the ball and getting to the truth. And like for her to make it sound like it's some strategy or gamesmanship, you know, that's your news source there, guys. That's who's funneling news to you up in Massachusetts. Good luck.
Right. Exactly, dude. Like, lady.
Ooh, you suck.
Initial ruling last year. So a lot of these issues have been litigated completely in the first trial, and some have been litigated in part, and then we have more to it that's happening now. So basically with the ARCA experts, the defense wants to be able to say,
this guy.
I can't. What is going on there? Wait, is that a
My
legit
man's-
person?
I don't know. I guess dude's like, Christina Rex, have you been getting my emails, Christina Rex?
Oh, that's so weird. I thought you superimposed him like Joe Flipper had.
No, bro, no. This shit is in the fucking video. Like,
Yeah,
Christina Rex.
that's creepy. And I speak
you
from
get my-
experience.
Did you get my email?
Did you? And he is. Wow. Good luck, buddy. Good luck.
Christina Rex. Oh my God, this is the hair. The hair I've been wanting to smell, Christina Rex.
Say, we did not hire them, and there was a third party, and we want to not only say that there was a third party who hired them, but specifically the U.S. Attorney's Office. And they say they want to do that because leaving out who hired these experts initially is going to confuse the jury. It's going to result in some sort of bias.
Christina Rex is like, what the fuck is going on with this guy behind me, dude?
Against the defendant because she didn't actually hire them. The problem I think they run into is that they have now paid them, right? So it sort of crosses the line between, they want.
Somebody saw the look on her face, was like, hey, dude, you gotta get the fuck out of there right now. Go, move.
The ability to argue, we didn't hire them, we don't have anything to do with them, but now they have subsequently retained them. So it gets into a little bit of a gray area. From my perspective, I don't think she's going to change any rulings relative to reference to the United States Attorney's Office, specifically now that we know, as it was announced in open court by Attorney Brennan, that the federal investigation is over. When you have investigations that have no outcomes, there's no indictments, there have been no findings, it often creates more confusion for the trier of fact, which is the jury. So I think it's unlikely she's going to let them reference that the United States Attorney's Office hired them. I do think there was an interesting request relative to sort of the.
No, I don't think that has anything to do with whether or not they were hired. Like, I understand trying to make the Commonwealth seem shady to the jury by disclosing and using the fact that there was an investigation, even though it's closed. I could see Bev ruling, going, hey, that shit's irrelevant now, so we're leaving it out. But as far as the jury knowing that that there was an investigation and that the feds hired them, the jury has a right to know that, and Karen Reed has a right for the jury to know that.
She does. I mean, I could go either way on it. Now that there is an unsupported, I'm still going to maintain it's unsupported conclusion that the federal investigation.
Oh my God, Tracy Walker. I'm sorry. Got it. Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Hold that thought. Hold that thought. But I got to give her another round. Amazing, Tracy Walker. Okay, please go ahead, Nan. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. You can always interrupt me with applause and, your little drop-ins or whatever they're called. That's great. So, I get it. Like, I'm just not going to believe that the federal investigation is over unless I have proof positive of it. And I'm basing that on 25 years of experience practicing in this field. But with that said, if it is to be believed that the federal investigation has closed in totality, it could be misleading or confusing to a jury to bring up any reference to a federal investigation. But with that, all of that said, there are ways around it. I think even if Judge Bev says I'm not going to change my prior ruling, you can't reference the feds, you can't reference any prior investigation. There should be, and this was another missed opportunity, and I only identify two tonight. The one was a little bit earlier in the stream. The other missed opportunity I was hoping to see was to permit the defense to characterize the engagement of ARCA in such a way before the jury, because as from Juror Ronnie, they thought that either an insurance company might have engaged them or even Turtle Boy, which I'd be interested to know how they really appreciated his existence other than Jen McCabe mentioning it briefly during the trial.
That's what they're going to do. What they want to do with Turtle Boy, the prosecution's going to bring him in, not the defense. And the prosecution is going to try to paint Turtle Boy to be a goon, a hired goon for Karen Reed.
Yeah.
Whether Bev allows certain things to go or not, he's still going to try to paint that picture for the jury with his witnesses. That's what he's going to use his witnesses to try to paint Turtle Boy to be not credible, and any information that's being used that Turtle Boy has reported is going to be considered uncredible, because Turtle Boy, in the eyes of the jury, would be, if Hank Brennan gets his way, basically a weapon that Karen Reed had let out on the street to spread misinformation and manipulate the public opinion.
Good luck trying to do that, Hank.
Right.
Luck.
Right.
It's not, I mean, just it ain't there. But I think there could have been a motion that was filed by the defense to try to permit reference to it not being the defense that engaged ARCA, which they said the first trial, but also stating what it's not. Like, and you were not engaged by an insurance company, is that correct? That's correct. And you were not engaged by, let's say, Turtle Boy, is that correct? That's correct. Like, to get some type of advanced curative ruling by means of an in limine motion to permit the defense to say how they were not engaging ARCA. In other words, spell it out to the jury, even though you're not mentioning the feds, you're saying what it's not. Otherwise, they're going to think it's an insurance company. Or
right.
So anyway, we can go back to, I want to get further distracted by her apparel, if you don't mind.
The passing out of the fees, they want to exclude the payments for voir dire, because the fact that they had to have experts fly in really kind of pumped up the amount of the invoice that was paid for ARCA. And they want to say, we pay them for, their expenses coming to testify last time, but not for voir dire, because when you look at a $23,000 bill, the jury might look at that and say, like, that seems like a lot. Are they just paying them to say what they want? And does that then prejudice the defendant, Karen Reed? So I think they have an interesting argument there as to whether they can parse out what specifically was paid for and what not. But I think it's unlikely they're going to be able to tell the jury that the U.S. Attorney's Office was the one that hired them.
And so on that front, it'll be very similar to the first trial in that the feds will just be this like imaginary third party that never gets named.
That's right. That's right. And it does, it's a difficult topic, because
look at how
it does
giddy Christina Rex is about that. It's like she wants Karen Reed to get convicted. Like, regardless of the facts, I want Karen Reed convicted. Like, that's how giddy she sucks.
I agree. And that's what she is riding that like Secretariat. And if you want that to be your news source, go ahead. But she's trash. She's in line with the prosecution on this, and that's the filter within which you're going to see it.
Yeah, like, it's gross.
On sort of unknown, party to this, that the jurors probably feel like everybody's talking about something, but we don't really know what it is. But at the same time, opening it up, I think, is far more likely a can of worms, and I don't think it's actually helpful in the inevitable question of whether she's guilty or not.
Okay. Okay. Next thing I want to ask
like
about.
It's troubling when a reporter likes a rigged game. You know what I mean?
I agree. What news does anyone know? What
Boston 10.
Is she Boston 10?
Yeah.
They playing you dirty, folks. They playing you dirty.
Or wait. Maybe, I don't know if she's Boston 10. I think she's Boston 99% sure. Scott McGinnis knows for sure. WBZ.
All right. Well, they either, I don't know how, prolific that network is up there, but
Channel 4, not 10. Excuse me. Channel 4.
Channel 4, WBZ. Yeah. That's not like ABC, NBC, CBS.
It's CBS. It's
is
CBS affiliate. Yeah, it's the local CBS affiliate.
Thank God. I'm talking personally right now. Thank God that I found YouTube during the Depp v. Heard trial, because I would have never found, probably not, but I don't think I would have found YouTube as a source for like a lot of information on true crime, which I follow. And then this case, and then the content creators of this case, and then
it's incredibly important, because now with the new judge's orders in regards to the media, that those of us who are independent continue to speak up and speak our minds. We need to continue to do that, because the mainstream media is only gonna talk when there's a scoop. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
only
when
going to
there's
talk when
proof.
there's a new development. And since they're not going to be privy to new developments, and we're really not going to be privy to new developments, but we can keep the information out there and keep it being talked about. So it's really important that us YouTube creators who cover this case and are free Karen Read continue to put out content. Very important. And I support every single creator who's doing it. I don't give a shit about any past beef or any shit like that. I support any content creator, pro Karen Read, who's putting out content and perpetuating this information.
I mean, wow, that was almost touching to listen to, because I agree with that wholeheartedly. And I feel like I need to take a shower after listening to this. But whatever. I mean, if that's what broadcast news wants to bring you, and they choose this woman to be the woman, whatever,
Right.
FAFO lady, I'm
Like, how are we supposed to take? I mean, I don't understand Christina Rex like expecting us to take her seriously with this lady on here. Like, she's all over Twitter as the fuck around find out lady. Like, her credibility is absolutely fucked. Like, nobody's taking anything she says seriously at all. And Christina Rex has her up there like as if she's fucking spewing out gospel, and it's bullshit.
I agree. And I guess, I guess while I have no aspirations of having that prominence, I have my own style, and maybe the FAFO lady, this is her, and I'm saying style very broadly. This is her thing. She wants to be on TikTok. She wants to, she dipped her toe into Twitter and got her ass handed to her. But if this is what she wants to do, and if this is her fashion choices, so be it. But ultimately, I can't take this seriously. And it scares me that people in that viewing community are going to soak that up. And whatever. What I find her so disturbing. One of your viewers said, "Oh my God, I just hopped on and I had to watch this lady," who I'm going to assume was the FAFO lady cop's daughter, or whoever you are that hopped on, but not me. But it's
And I mean, yeah, and I gotta say, and you don't have to talk about it. I'm not gonna put any details out there, but there are outlets higher up in the chain with bigger audiences that have been eyeing you. So I just want to say that I hate to put you on the spot, but I think that you should absolutely consider strongly doing them, because the free Karen Read movement needs your voice. And if you have a mic to do it, I say do it.
Well, I have been, let's just say I've been approached now by three entities, and I'm not sure that I want to go that route, but we'll see. I
understood. No, and you have the right to do whatever you want. I'm just saying, I know that everyone here would support you, and and be really glad to see you go head to head with some of these fools that don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
That's very sweet. I honestly, I will say this though: if I end up starting to do that, which I don't think I'm going to, I will stay me. I'm not gonna compromise. I will not compromise how I feel.
There's no doubt about that. I don't think anybody doubts that at all, and that's why everyone is encouraging you.
Yeah, exactly. Although, to be honest, one of those invitations I received was not solely related to the Karen Read case, or it was more for a larger option. But, well, whatever. Let's get back to the FAFO lady.
Oh, you want to go back to that?
No,
I was gonna wrap this up actually.
Oh yeah, you can wrap it up.
We're gonna hit the 3-hour mark. I know you got mom duties and everything.
Yeah.
But
that's great.
I want to thank you for joining me as always. It's funny because like both our energy, like we both had very full days. Both our energy was just kind of like, okay, let's just get through this, and people could pick up on it. But they stuck with us and hung out and had fun anyway. So
I'm
I'm grateful
sorry.
to you guys.
I had a lot of fun, but it gets deflating after, to get through this.
It's
many
just a lot, man. You know what I mean? Like that's it. But like regardless, like hanging out with you always makes it fun. So
thank
I'm
you.
really grateful to you for joining and giving the cliff notes to all this stuff, because I now have a much better understanding of where we're at.
And what to
And I'm
watch.
really grateful to you for that. Yeah, thank you for that.
Oh, my pleasure.
I find your insight invaluable.
Thank you. But I find the same to you as well. And I think it's nice to really have a nice vibe. And we're like-minded, but we have differences. And I'm always here if you ever need any help or you just want to shit on people.
No, I right on. I appreciate it. Yeah. The next one we do, well, I'm sure it'll probably be before the opposition for that ridiculous motion comes out. But yeah, I look forward to. I mean, you're always.
I'm usually
always invited here.
I'm usually in your chat. I don't think I was the other night. I did catch you on Justice Served, and I thought you did a great job. I thought I heard
that was a really.
I thought I heard Aiden was going to be
fun
on
conversation. Yeah, he's supposed to be on soon. I think I'm not sure what day.
Okay,
but he's supposed to be on this week.
And Dina, maybe.
And Dina soon. Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, so I mean, you did very well there, and I'm usually in your chat, so it's always a pleasure listening to you, and I love your viewers so much. They ask the best questions, and I just want to thank everyone for your time tonight, and keep showing the fuck up, and you can throw that in the swear jar.
Oh my God.
And just so you all know, Will report back to me about a super chat tally when he can, and I'll make a donation. So thank you.
Look at that. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys. And thank you, Nan, for that completely and totally insane and irrational proposition that you offered my chat.
My pleasure. My pleasure. And if
we love you for it, though. We love you.
Thank you. If anyone has any more specific questions, you can always reach out to me. I've tried to make sure I respond to everybody. In fact, when I do, Will, I respond to people in the messages and they're like, oh my God, I didn't think I was going to hear back from you personally.
So Turtle Boy on Justice Served TV tonight at 9.
Great. Everybody go.
Tonight at 9. I will be, yes. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a Justice Served Glare raid. Okay.
Yeah.
Glare raid and Justice Served TV. We'll make sure everybody knows that we sent you over there. Me and Nan sent you over there to Justice Served TV and show Turtle Boy some support and show Justice Served TV some support. Make sure to subscribe to Justice Served TV because they are definitely one of the good guys, and I look forward to having them on my show soon. So
yeah,
Nan, thank you so much. You're amazing.
Yeah. It's been a pleasure being here. Have a great night, Will. Have a great night, everybody.
Good night, Nan.
Good night.
Amazing. All right, my friends. Make sure Glare raid at Justice Served TV. All right. Make sure to head over there. Turtle Boy's going to be on there. I look forward to hearing a conversation with them. It should be fun. And people, thank you guys for everything. Please make sure to hit the like. Really helps me out. If you're new subscribers, I really hope you're enjoying the channel. I love that you guys subscribe. That means the world to me. So please make sure to share this out. If you're a creator, keep showing up, as Nan would say. Keep putting the content out there. It's up to us to keep this out there in the public eye. So we got to keep people coming out and exercising their First Amendment right at the hearings. We've got to get louder, people. That's where we're at now. So guys, I do love you very much. You guys are fantastic. Thank you guys for all the support. And thank you thank you to Nan Gallagher, OnlyNan, LaFerio for her generosity and for just her invaluable insight. As I put it earlier, she's amazing. And I'm really grateful to her for being part of this channel and hanging out with me. You guys are fantastic. I love you very much, and we will do this again very soon, my friends.